Hello, and thank you for choosing to watch this video. If you're struggling to fall asleep, your eyelids are heavy, but your mind is still wide awake, or after a long, stressful day, you find it hard to drift off, please don't turn off this video. I'm about to begin a gentle journey to help you slip easily into a deep, peaceful sleep. This is part of the Boring History for Sleep series. It may sound dull, but that very dullness helps you feel sleepy faster. Tonight, I'll share with you the story The Manuscripts Buried Under Ash, a tale of ancient manuscripts hidden beneath layers of ash, holding secrets and knowledge forgotten by time. Long ago, in a land scarred by the fury of fire and the weight of time, there lay a hidden treasure, ancient manuscripts carefully penned by hands long vanished, buried beneath thick layers of ash and rubble. Imagine a once thriving city, its streets bustling with scholars and scribes, where knowledge was treasured like gold and ideas flowed like the gentle river through its heart. In grand libraries lined with towering shelves, fragile scrolls and bound volumes held the wisdom of generations, illuminated by the soft glow of oil lamps. But fate was harsh. A great eruption shattered the city's peace, sending plumes of smoke and clouds of ash that blanketed everything beneath a suffocating veil. The fiery rain fell relentlessly, swallowing buildings, homes, and libraries alike, turning vibrant streets into silent ruins. In the aftermath, the manuscripts, fragile and delicate, were entombed beneath layers of gray ash, their secrets hidden from the world, waiting in patient silence. Picture the heavy silence that settled over the ruined city, broken only by the distant crackling of dying embers and the soft whisper of wind stirring the ash-covered remains. The once busy libraries were now desolate tombs, their treasures sealed away beneath a thick, powdery blanket. The manuscripts, written in ink that time had barely touched, rested quietly, their pages curled and yellowed, but still holding the thoughts and stories of those who had poured their lives into them. Imagine the soft flicker of a dying candle somewhere in the darkness, a lone symbol of hope and remembrance. Outside, ash drifts gently like snow, settling on broken stones and shattered glass. The world seemed paused, holding its breath for the day when these buried words might again see the light, and the knowledge preserved within them could be shared once more. In this quiet stillness, the manuscripts lie waiting, not lost forever, but asleep beneath the ash, holding the echoes of a brilliant past and the promise of rediscovery. As you listen, let the calm weight of this hidden story settle softly in your mind, guiding you gently toward restful sleep. As the days turned into years, nature began to slowly reclaim the ruined city, weaving a delicate tapestry of life over the desolation. Imagine soft winds carrying fine ash across the landscape, settling like a blanket that muffled the echoes of the past. Small shoots of green pushed bravely through the gray dust, fragile wildflowers blossomed in cracks of crumbled walls, and vines crept along shattered arches, silent witnesses to resilience amid loss. Beneath this quiet revival, the manuscripts remained hidden, protected by layers of ash and earth. Picture the fragile pages, their ink faded but still legible, resting in stone chambers and collapsed libraries long forgotten by the world above. Each scroll and tome told stories of ancient wisdom, philosophies of life, tales of distant lands, and discoveries that had shaped the minds of generations. The silence that enveloped the buried archives was profound, broken only by the distant sounds of birds nesting in hollowed trees and the gentle rustle of leaves stirred by the breeze. Imagine the soft trickle of water seeping through cracks in the ruins, nourishing roots that tangled with fallen stones and long-abandoned shelves. This slow, steady renewal was nature's way of preserving memory, guarding knowledge in a fragile balance between decay and rebirth. Imagine a lone scholar in a distant future, drawn by whispers of lost wisdom, carefully brushing away centuries of dust and ash to reveal fragments of these manuscripts. Their hands tremble as they trace faded words, piecing together thoughts once thought lost forever. The thrill of rediscovery brings hope, a bridge connecting the past's silent secrets to the present's eager minds. In this gentle unfolding, the manuscripts buried under ash become more than relics. They are a testament to endurance, a quiet promise that knowledge and stories, though hidden, can survive even the harshest trials. Let this thought soothe your mind as you drift softly into restful sleep, carried by the timeless rhythm of rediscovery and hope. Centuries passed and the world above changed, Empires rose and fell, deserts shifted, and new generations came to live unaware of the treasures hidden beneath the ash. Yet, beneath the surface, the manuscripts lay in quiet slumber, their fragile pages holding the echoes of voices long silenced but never forgotten. Imagine the stillness of these hidden chambers, where dust settles gently over leather-bound volumes and delicate parchment, preserving secrets penned by candlelight in days when knowledge was a precious flame against the darkness. Visualize the intricate calligraphy etched by skilled hands, faded now but still visible, a delicate dance of ink and paper telling stories of ancient scholars, poets, and philosophers. These manuscripts held lessons on the stars, the earth, and the human heart, wisdom passed down in meticulous scripts, waiting patiently for the moment when curious eyes would awaken their slumber. The ash that once smothered the city now serves as a quiet guardian, shielding these manuscripts from the ravages of time and human neglect. Beneath this protective layer, the manuscripts remain safe from light, moisture, and decay, frozen in a suspended moment, like a secret treasure chest waiting for its key. Picture a soft, filtered light seeping slowly through cracks in the ruins, an invitation to rediscover, to read again, to listen to the whispers of the past. Imagine the gentle unfolding of brittle pages, the faint scent of old ink and parchment rising as each manuscript is carefully examined. The words, though ancient, carry a timeless resonance, connecting us across centuries to the thoughts and dreams of those who came before. As you settle deeper into the calm of this story, allow the silent endurance of these manuscripts to soothe your spirit. Let the hidden knowledge and patient waiting beneath the ash become a gentle metaphor for rest and renewal, guiding you slowly toward peaceful sleep. As the centuries continued to pass, nature and time worked together to cloak the lost city in layers of mystery and quiet beauty. Picture the ruins slowly becoming entwined with roots and vines, creepers curling gently over cracked stones, wildflowers blooming defiantly among the rubble. The soft patter of rain occasionally fell, nourishing the earth and filling dried fountains with crystal-clear water, reflecting the muted sky above. The scent of damp earth and blossoming jasmine mingled in the cool air, creating a tranquil atmosphere that whispered of life's persistence amidst decay. Imagine the manuscripts, still hidden beneath the ash and earth, their pages curled and fragile, yet remarkably intact. They rest in darkened chambers carved from stone, where the faintest light seeps through cracks and fractures. The faint warmth of the earth surrounds them, a quiet guardian against the ravages of time and neglect. Each manuscript holds a piece of a lost world, philosophical musings, historical accounts, poetic verses, woven together into a tapestry of human thought and emotion. In the stillness of the ruins, listen closely and you might hear the soft rustle of pages turning, carried on the whisper of a gentle breeze. Imagine an invisible hand brushing away dust, revealing faded illustrations of celestial maps and ancient scripts, the ink still shimmering faintly with the glow of forgotten knowledge. These manuscripts, though silent, speak volumes to those willing to listen, bridging the gap between past and present. Visualize the solitary figure of a scholar, lantern in hand, descending carefully into the depths of these hidden chambers. Their footsteps echo softly against stone walls, mingling with the steady drip of water and the distant call of night birds. With reverence, they open a fragile tome, tracing the delicate script with fingers that tremble in awe and wonder. This act of rediscovery breathes new life into the ancient words, rekindling a flame of knowledge that had lain dormant for centuries. As you immerse yourself in this story, allow the gentle unfolding of these buried manuscripts to calm your thoughts and ease your mind. Let the quiet patience and enduring mystery beneath the ash soothe you, carrying you softly toward the embrace of restful sleep. In the hush of the ancient chambers where the manuscripts lie, the world above may have forgotten, but here beneath the ash, time moves with a different rhythm, a slow, deliberate unfolding, like the turning of a fragile page. Imagine the manuscripts resting quietly, their pages still delicate but resilient, holding centuries of wisdom and stories that span generations and cultures. The scent of aged parchment mingles with a faint trace of ink, preserved like a secret perfume in the still air. Picture the grand halls and hidden rooms where these texts were once studied, a place alive with the soft rustle of robes, the flicker of candlelight casting dancing shadows on stone walls, and the whispered voices of scholars debating ideas long before the modern world. The silence now is thick with memory, a gentle reminder of the tireless pursuit of knowledge that flourished here, even as the world outside changed and moved on. Outside these chambers, the ruins breathe with life of their own. Vines thread through broken windows, swaying in a soft breeze that carries the distant call of night creatures. The moonlight filters through shattered arches, illuminating dust motes that float like tiny stars in the cool air. Somewhere, water drips slowly into a cracked basin, its steady rhythm a quiet song that echoes through the hollow spaces. Imagine the manuscripts not just as relics, but as living connections, a bridge across time, linking past minds to present hearts. Each word, each carefully crafted sentence, holds the passion, hope, and curiosity of those who wrote it. The knowledge buried beneath ash is a testament to human resilience, the desire to understand, to share, and to endure. As you sink deeper into the calm of this story, let the quiet strength of these manuscripts fill your thoughts with peace. Allow the gentle weight of history and mystery to soothe your spirit, guiding you softly toward restful sleep, cradled in the embrace of forgotten wisdom. As the soft night deepens over the ancient ruins, the manuscripts buried beneath the ash remain steadfast, their stories quietly waiting to be uncovered. Imagine the weight of centuries pressing gently against the fragile pages, each one a delicate thread woven into the fabric of history. The air in the hidden chambers is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of old parchment mixed with the earthy aroma of stone and dust, a subtle reminder of the passage of time and the endurance of knowledge. Picture the scholars who once gathered in these hallowed halls, their voices hushed in reverence as they pored over texts, illuminated by flickering oil lamps. The soft glow of the flames cast dancing shadows on the walls, where intricate carvings and faded frescoes hinted at the wisdom and culture that flourished here. Now those halls lie silent and empty, but the energy of their past lives seems to linger in the air, a gentle hum beneath the stillness. Outside, nature weaves a tapestry of renewal over the ruins. Ivy snakes its way through cracks in the stone, delicate flowers bloom, where once there was only rubble, and soft moss carpets the floors. The occasional drip of water from a broken gutter adds a steady, soothing rhythm, mingling with the distant calls of night birds and the whisper of the wind through the trees. This blend of decay and life creates a sacred balance, a place where the past is both preserved and transformed. Imagine a moment when the manuscripts might be rediscovered, carefully unearthed by gentle hands, their pages unfurling to reveal lost knowledge and stories. The thrill of this discovery is tempered by a deep respect for the fragility of what remains, a quiet understanding that these ancient words carry not just information, but the hopes and dreams of countless generations. As you listen, allow the serene endurance of these manuscripts to calm your mind and soothe your soul. Let the timeless dance of preservation and decay, knowledge and mystery, guide you softly into restful sleep, wrapped in the quiet embrace of history's gentle whisper. As the moon arcs slowly across the velvet sky, the ancient manuscripts buried beneath layers of ash continue to whisper their timeless stories, resting in quiet dignity within their stone sanctuary. Imagine the soft flicker of candlelight from a distant past, casting wavering shadows on cracked parchment, where delicate calligraphy still holds the breath of centuries gone by. These pages, though fragile, are vessels of human experience. Philosophies, poems, histories, and dreams etched with care by hands long since stilled. Picture the sanctuary itself. Deep underground chambers carved into the bedrock, walls lined with shelves bowed beneath the weight of countless volumes. Dust floats gently in the cool, still air, catching faint shafts of light that filter through narrow cracks above. The scent of ancient ink mingles with the earthiness of stone and time, creating an atmosphere thick with reverence and mystery. Somewhere in the distance, the quiet drip of water echoes softly, a subtle heartbeat in the silent depths. Outside the sanctuary, nature continues its slow reclamation. Ivy tendrils crawl along ruined arches, weaving a delicate green lacework against the gray stone. Tiny blossoms peek shyly from cracks, their petals trembling in the cool night breeze. The air carries the mingled scents of wet earth, moss, and the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers, wrapping the ruins in a tender embrace of life amid decay. Imagine the hands of a scholar centuries later, gentle and deliberate, brushing away centuries of dust and ash to reveal a fragment of a forgotten manuscript. The soft crackle of brittle pages opening stirs the silence like a whispered secret, each word a spark rekindling a long-dimmed flame of knowledge and connection. The scholar's eyes trace the faded script, reading thoughts that transcend time, wisdom born from human curiosity, hope, and resilience. As you immerse yourself in this quiet unfolding, let the serene patience of the manuscripts and the enduring spirit of the sanctuary soothe your thoughts. Allow their gentle presence to cradle your mind, easing worries and inviting you into the deep calm of night. Here, in this place where history sleeps beneath ash and stone, find your own quiet refuge and drift softly into peaceful sleep. As the deep night stretches on, the sanctuary of ancient manuscripts buried beneath ash remains cloaked in gentle shadows and whispers of time long past. The moonlight filters softly through cracks in the stone, casting delicate beams that dance upon the curled edges of parchment, illuminating the faded ink and fragile textures with a pale, silvery glow. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of aged paper, mingled with earth and the subtle fragrance of night-blooming flowers that have found their way into hidden crevices. Imagine the vast underground chambers, vast halls of knowledge once bustling with scholars, now quiet and still, where every shelf and every tome holds a story, not just in words, but in the very essence of human thought and aspiration. The soft drip of water echoes in the distance, creating a gentle rhythm that pulses like the heartbeat of the sanctuary itself. Shadows stretch and shift, revealing glimpses of intricate carvings on stone pillars, worn tapestries long faded, and the delicate imprint of human hands who once touched these texts with reverence. Outside these chambers, the world is alive with the subtle sounds of night, rustling leaves, the distant call of an owl, and the whisper of a cool breeze weaving through ancient trees whose roots delve deep into the earth. The ruins above breathe with quiet life, vines and moss climbing slowly over stone arches and fallen columns, weaving nature's soft embrace around man's enduring creations. Picture the manuscripts themselves, resting in their secret alcoves, their pages waiting patiently to be rediscovered. Each leaf tells tales of distant lands, forgotten philosophies, and dreams penned under flickering candlelight. The ink, though faded, still holds the power to transport the reader across centuries, a bridge between the past and present, between silence and the vibrant pulse of human curiosity. As you listen to the story, allow the gentle mystery and enduring beauty of these buried manuscripts to calm your mind and soothe your spirit. Let their quiet presence guide you into a place of peace and rest, where the weight of the day melts away and sleep comes softly, wrapped in the tender embrace of history's whispered secrets. As the night deepens into a profound stillness, the ancient sanctuary that holds the manuscripts buried beneath layers of ash remains a timeless refuge, cradling centuries of wisdom and forgotten stories. Imagine the soft glow of moonlight weaving through cracks in the stone ceiling, illuminating dust motes that float like tiny stars in the cool, quiet air. The scent of aged parchment mingles with the subtle earthiness of moss and stone, creating an atmosphere rich with memory and reverence. Picture the rows upon rows of ancient texts, leather-bound volumes, brittle scrolls, and hand-stitched codices, each one a silent testament to the minds that once shaped and preserved them. Their pages, though yellowed and delicate, remain a vibrant thread connecting the past to the present, whispering secrets of forgotten civilizations, lost philosophies, and the endless human quest for understanding. The silence is profound but alive, filled with the faintest sounds, the distant drip of water echoing like a gentle heartbeat, the rustle of ancient pages stirred by a soft draft, and the occasional sigh of the stone walls as they settle into the cool night. Outside, the ruins are wrapped in darkness, where vines creep silently over crumbled arches, and the night breeze carries the faint perfume of wildflowers blooming in hidden corners. Imagine a scholar, long since gone, who once walked these halls, their footsteps echoing softly on the stone floor as they sought knowledge by flickering candlelight. Their spirit lingers still in this sacred place, a quiet guardian of the manuscript's enduring legacy. The stories and wisdom contained within these texts continue to ripple across time, inviting those who listen to pause, reflect, and find solace in their gentle presence. As you surrender to the calm of this tale, Let the deep stillness and quiet strength of these buried manuscripts envelop your mind and spirit. Allow their ancient whispers to soothe your thoughts, gently guiding you toward peaceful sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of history's enduring mysteries. As the night reaches its deepest and most tranquil hour, the sanctuary housing the manuscripts buried beneath the ash seems to hold its breath, enveloped in a profound stillness that transcends time itself. The moon, a luminous orb suspended high above, casts a soft silver glow through the cracks and crevices of the ancient stone chambers, bathing the fragile pages in ethereal light. The cool air is tinged with the faint, comforting scent of aged parchment, mingled with the earthy aroma of damp stone and moss, wrapping the space in a serene, timeless embrace. Imagine standing quietly amidst towering shelves laden with countless texts, leather-bound tomes with cracked spines, delicate scrolls tied with faded ribbons, and weathered manuscripts inscribed in elegant, flowing scripts. Each volume is a gateway to worlds long past, carrying the voices, dreams, and wisdom of generations long silent. The gentle rustle of pages, barely audible, seems to echo the soft heartbeat of the sanctuary itself, a tender reminder of the enduring power of knowledge. Outside these sacred chambers, the ruins breathe beneath a star-studded sky, where ancient vines twist their way through crumbling arches and wildflowers bloom in hidden crevices, their delicate petals glowing softly under the moonlight. The desert night hums with life, the distant call of an owl, the whisper of a gentle breeze stirring the leaves, and the subtle murmur of water trickling from a hidden spring, all blending into a soothing symphony that cradles the spirit. Picture the manuscript's faded ink and fragile parchment as living threads woven into the vast tapestry of human history. Though buried beneath ash and time, their stories remain vibrant, waiting patiently to be rediscovered, understood, and cherished once more. These ancient texts are not merely relics, but enduring beacons of human curiosity, resilience, and the unquenchable thirst for knowledge. As you settle deeper into this quiet tale, let the serene weight of these manuscripts and the tranquil atmosphere of their sanctuary calm your mind and soften your thoughts. Allow their gentle presence to guide you softly into peaceful sleep, embraced by the whispered secrets of the past and the gentle promise of renewal. The story above has come to a close. Now, I invite you to listen to the next chapter in our Boring History for Sleep series, The Catacombs That Hold Forgotten Names. Your only task is to close your eyes, lie still in a comfortable position, and simply listen. Beneath the bustling streets of an ancient city lies a labyrinth hidden from the eyes of the world, a network of winding tunnels and shadowed chambers known as the catacombs. Imagine descending a narrow, worn staircase carved from cold stone, the air growing cooler and heavier with each step. The soft echo of footsteps reverberates off the walls, mingling with the faint drip of water seeping through cracks above. The light fades gradually, replaced by the flickering glow of torches set in iron sconces, casting long, trembling shadows that dance along the rough-hewn walls. The catacombs stretch endlessly, a maze of corridors lined with rows upon rows of niches, carved into the stone, each holding the resting place of a forgotten soul. These names, once spoken and remembered, have since faded into silence, their voices lost in the stillness of this underground sanctuary. Imagine the solemn hush that blankets this subterranean world, a silence so profound it seems to press gently upon the heart, inviting reverence and reflection. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and aged stone, mingled with faint traces of incense burned long ago. Moss and delicate fungi cling to the crevices, their muted greens and grays adding a soft texture to the cold, hard surfaces. The flickering torchlight reveals ancient carvings and faded inscriptions, stories etched into the stone by hands seeking to preserve memory against the erasure of time. As you move slowly through this silent city beneath the city, imagine the countless lives whose names are etched here: merchants, scholars, children, and leaders, each one a thread in the fabric of history, now woven into the shadowed walls. The catacombs are more than just a resting place. They are a testament to remembrance, a sacred space where names once lost are held quietly in the embrace of stone. In this stillness, let yourself breathe deeply, feeling the cool air fill your lungs and the gentle weight of history surround you. As you listen, allow the solemn beauty and profound calm of the catacombs to guide you softly toward peaceful sleep. As you venture deeper into the catacombs, The labyrinth seems to stretch endlessly beneath the city, its twisting corridors winding like veins carrying the silent memories of generations. The air grows cooler still, heavy with the scent of damp stone and the faint lingering traces of ancient incense, long extinguished but never quite forgotten. Each step echoes softly, a quiet drumbeat in the vast subterranean cathedral where time feels suspended. Imagine the walls lined with countless niches, each a small chamber carved with care, holding the remains of souls long departed. Many are marked by simple plaques, worn smooth by centuries of moisture and dust, their inscriptions faded but still faintly visible, names, dates, and brief epitaphs that whisper stories of lives once lived. Others bear delicate carvings of flowers, crosses, or symbols of hope and remembrance, offering a glimpse into the faith and artistry of those who created them. The flickering torchlight casts a warm glow that dances over the rough-hewn stone, illuminating intricate frescoes and faded murals that depict scenes of daily life, sacred rituals, and journeys beyond this world. These silent paintings, though worn and chipped, carry the weight of belief and the human desire to be remembered, to transcend mortality through memory and art. Picture the occasional alcove opening into small chapels, where stone altars stand surrounded by withered candles and offerings left by loved ones long ago. The soft crackle of a solitary flame adds a fragile warmth to the otherwise cool and shadowed space. Vines and moss creep through cracks in the stone, weaving nature's quiet reclamation into the sacred architecture, reminding us of life's persistence, even in places devoted to death. As you continue through this vast underground sanctuary, imagine the whispers of the past carried on the still air, the laughter of children, the voices of families, the prayers of mourners, all woven into the very fabric of the catacombs. Here, names that might otherwise have been lost to time are held gently, given permanence in stone and spirit. Let the solemn beauty of this hidden world fill your thoughts and soften your mind. Breathe deeply, feel the cool air steady your breath, and allow the profound calm of the catacombs to carry you gently toward restful sleep. As you journey deeper into the winding maze of the catacombs, the quiet reverence of this underground world wraps around you like a soft cloak. The faint flicker of torches casts dancing shadows on the textured stone walls, revealing the intricate craftsmanship of generations past. Each curve and crevice tells a story, not just of the individuals laid to rest here, but of the hands that carved these walls, the prayers whispered in the stillness, and the enduring hope woven into every chiseled letter and symbol. Imagine the soft echo of your footsteps blending with the distant drip of water, a steady, soothing rhythm that accompanies you deeper into the labyrinth. The stone beneath your feet is worn smooth, polished by centuries of pilgrims and visitors who came to remember, to mourn, and to find solace within these sacred halls. The air feels thick with memory, carrying a quiet weight that invites contemplation and peace. Picture small clusters of bones carefully arranged in niches and alcoves, ossuaries crafted with care, forming geometric patterns and delicate arches. These silent sentinels bear witness to lives once lived, now preserved in a solemn, respectful artistry. Nearby, fragile remnants of wooden crosses and faded ribbons, tokens of remembrance, flutter softly in the occasional draft, whispering messages of love and loss across the ages. The catacombs are not merely a resting place for the dead. They are a sanctuary of memory, a place where the veil between past and present grows thin. Imagine ancient prayers etched into stone tablets, their faded inscriptions still carrying the hope and faith of those who sought peace beyond life's trials. The murals on the walls, though weathered, depict scenes of resurrection, eternal light, and the cyclical dance of life and death, a testament to the human spirit's yearning for continuity. As you move gently through this sacred space, feel the cool, calm air steady your breath and quiet your thoughts. Let the profound stillness of the catacombs settle softly over you, inviting your mind to rest and your heart to find peace. Here, amidst the silent names and shadowed corridors, allow yourself to drift into the quiet embrace of sleep, cradled by the enduring presence of memory and reverence. As you continue deeper into the catacombs, the air grows cooler, denser, and the weight of centuries presses gently upon your shoulders. The soft glow of flickering torches dances along the rough stone walls, illuminating ancient symbols carved long ago, icons of faith, protection, and remembrance that tell stories beyond words. Imagine the delicate balance between shadow and light here, where every flicker reveals new secrets etched into the stone, and every shadow seems to hold the echoes of whispered prayers. The passageways twist and turn like a vast underground web, lined with countless niches housing urns, skulls, and bones arranged with careful reverence. Picture the artistry in these arrangements. Intricate patterns of femurs and skulls forming arches, crosses, and geometric designs that speak to a profound respect for those who rest here. Each arrangement is a silent vigil, a testament to human devotion and the need to honor life even in death. The scent of damp earth and old stone mingles with the faint aroma of extinguished candles, while the occasional sound of dripping water adds a rhythmic heartbeat to the stillness. The atmosphere is thick with memory, a tangible presence that wraps around you like a soft shawl, inviting deep reflection and calm. Imagine small alcoves opening into intimate chapels where weathered altars stand beneath vaulted ceilings. These sacred spaces, though quiet and dim, once echoed with solemn hymns and whispered prayers, carrying the hopes of families and communities who sought solace in their faith. Now the silence is profound but not empty. It hums softly with the weight of centuries, a reverent reminder of the enduring bond between the living and the departed. As you wander through this vast underground sanctuary, imagine the countless stories embedded in these walls, tales of love, loss, hope, and remembrance woven into the very fabric of the catacombs. Let the profound stillness and gentle weight of history calm your mind and soften your thoughts, inviting you to surrender to rest. In this quiet place, beneath the bustling city above, find a sanctuary for your soul. Let the timeless presence of the catacombs cradle you, guiding you softly into peaceful sleep. Deeper still into the labyrinth, the catacombs unfold like a vast ancient sanctuary, where the weight of time feels both heavy and tender. The flickering torchlight casts a soft golden glow, revealing arches worn smooth by centuries of reverent footsteps. Imagine the cool stone beneath your hand, rough and textured, cool to the touch yet comforting in its steady presence. The walls here bear inscriptions, faded yet eloquent, a silent chorus of voices calling across centuries. Picture alcoves filled with carefully arranged relics, skulls and bones stacked in geometric patterns, their shapes forming hauntingly beautiful mosaics. Each arrangement is a tribute, a testament to lives once vibrant, now resting in eternal stillness. Delicate flowers, real or carved from stone, peek from niches, symbols of life's fragile persistence, even in the face of death. The scent of ancient incense lingers faintly in the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of stone and aged parchment from forgotten scrolls tucked away in hidden corners. Somewhere, the soft dripping of water echoes like a heartbeat, steady and unchanging, underscoring the profound silence. Imagine small groups of visitors long ago, pilgrims and mourners, lighting candles and whispering prayers in hushed tones, seeking comfort and connection beneath these vaulted ceilings. Their presence lingers like a gentle echo, woven into the fabric of the catacombs alongside the bones and inscriptions. The catacombs are a place where memory and reverence intertwine, where each name carved or written is a thread in a vast tapestry of human experience. They remind us that beneath the noise and rush of daily life, there is a stillness, a space where we can honor the past and find peace. As you listen, let the weight and beauty of this hidden world soothe your mind and spirit. Allow yourself to be carried gently into rest by the quiet strength and enduring grace of the catacombs, a sacred place where the whispers of forgotten names guide you softly toward sleep. As you journey even deeper into the catacombs, the air grows cooler and the darkness thickens, but the quiet reverence of this underground world remains a comforting presence. The torchlight flickers softly against the stone walls, casting long shadows that stretch and sway like gentle spirits, watching over the resting souls. Imagine the intricate carvings along the arches, symbols of protection, hope, and remembrance, worn smooth by centuries of touch and time, their meanings echoing silently through the stillness. Beneath your fingertips, the stone is cold and textured, cool enough to remind you of the earth's deep embrace. The scent of damp moss and ancient incense lingers in the air, mixing with the faint aroma of old parchment and dust, a sensory tapestry woven from centuries of human presence and devotion. The distant drip of water adds a steady rhythm, a quiet heartbeat in the vast silence. Picture the niches along the walls, each holding relics of those long past, bones carefully arranged with respect, simple tokens left by loved ones, faded ribbons that flutter softly with the movement of air. These small offerings are acts of memory and love, tangible reminders that even in death, connection endures. Imagine the quiet footsteps of visitors long ago, their soft murmurs of prayer echoing faintly through the corridors, blending with the gentle crackling of candle flames. Their devotion created a sacred atmosphere, a bridge between the living and the dead, woven into the very stones of the catacombs. Outside the hidden chambers, nature slowly reclaims its place. Ivy tendrils creep through cracks, while delicate wildflowers bloom in hidden crevices, their fragile beauty a testament to life's persistence. The interplay of life and death, light and shadow, creates a profound balance, a sacred space where memory lives on. As you listen and imagine the solemn sanctuary, let the stillness and enduring grace of the catacombs calm your mind. Allow the gentle weight of history and reverence to ease your thoughts, carrying you softly into restful sleep, cradled by the quiet strength of forgotten names. As the quiet hours of the night deepen, the catacombs, this vast subterranean sanctuary of memory and stillness, unfold before you like a sacred labyrinth woven from stone, shadow, and silence. Imagine the faint glow of torchlight flickering gently along the narrow passageways, casting elongated shadows that stretch like whispers across the cold, rough-hewn walls. Each step you take echoes softly, mingling with the distant, steady drip of water seeping through cracks, a rhythmic heartbeat resonating in the depths of this hallowed place. Picture the countless niches carved meticulously into the stone, each one cradling the remains of lives long past. Skulls and bones, arranged with care and respect, form hauntingly beautiful patterns, arches, crosses, and delicate geometrical shapes that speak of reverence and the human desire to honor those who have gone before. The faintest scent of ancient incense still lingers in the air, mingling with the cool, damp earth and the subtle musk of aged stone and parchment. The catacombs hold stories far beyond the names etched onto worn plaques. Tales of families and communities, of celebrations and farewells, of hopes whispered in prayers and tears shed in quiet solitude. Visualize faded frescoes and carvings adorning the walls, their pigments muted, but their messages of faith, resilience, and eternal life still palpable beneath the layers of time. As you move gently through these shadowed halls, feel the gentle embrace of history's quiet pulse, a presence that both humbles and comforts. The silence here is profound but not empty. It carries the weight of remembrance and the enduring bond between the living and the dead. Imagine the soft flutter of a ribbon left by a mourner, catching the faintest breath of air, or the delicate shimmer of candlelight reflected in a cracked glass vial. Small tokens of love and memory that transcend time. Beyond the stone walls, nature softly reclaims its place. Ivy tendrils winding their way through fractured masonry, tiny wildflowers blooming bravely in hidden crevices, and moss carpeting the cold floors with gentle, velvety green. The contrast of life and death, light and shadow, creates a sacred harmony that invites reflection, peace, and rest. As you listen, allow the serene solemnity and timeless grace of the catacombs to wash over you. Let this sacred space cradle your thoughts, soothing the mind and quieting the heart. Here, beneath the earth and the stars, surrender to the gentle rhythm of history's whispers and drift softly into peaceful sleep. As the night deepens further within the winding corridors of the catacombs, the atmosphere thickens with an ancient solemnity, as if time itself pauses to honor the countless lives whose names are etched into stone and memory. The flickering torchlight, faint and wavering, reveals intricate carvings and worn frescoes that whisper stories of faith, loss, and enduring hope. Imagine the textured walls, mottled with patches of moss and lichen, each surface a silent testament to centuries of quiet devotion. The air here is cool and heavy with the scent of earth and the faint trace of extinguished candles, mingling with the delicate fragrance of wildflowers that somehow find their way into hidden crevices. These flowers, fragile yet persistent, offer a soft contrast to the cold stone, embodying the delicate balance between life and death that defines this sacred space. Picture niches carefully arranged with bones and relics, forming geometric patterns of solemn beauty. Skulls rest peacefully, surrounded by offerings left long ago, withered ribbons, carved crosses, and faded tokens of remembrance. Each object tells a story of love and memory, a bridge spanning generations, a promise that those who rest here will not be forgotten. Listen closely, and you might hear the faintest sounds, the soft flutter of wings as a nightbird passes through an unseen archway, the gentle drip of water echoing through the tunnels, or the whisper of a breeze weaving through the labyrinthine passages. These subtle sounds are the heartbeat of the catacombs, the quiet rhythm that holds the past and present in a tender embrace. Beyond the sheltering stone, nature weaves its quiet magic. Ivy tendrils spiral gracefully along fractured walls, while tiny blooms open slowly in the dim light, casting gentle shadows on the worn floors. This interplay of decay and renewal creates a sacred harmony, a place where memories are preserved not just in stone, but in the living breath of the earth. As you let the story settle within you, feel the profound peace and reverence of the catacombs wash over your thoughts. Allow the gentle shadows, soft scents, and enduring presence of those forgotten names to soothe your mind and lull you toward restful, healing sleep. As you wander deeper into the endless passages of the catacombs, the quiet becomes a companion, a soothing blanket woven from centuries of memories and silent prayers. The flickering torchlight reveals ancient inscriptions on the walls, their faded letters speaking softly across the ages. Imagine the gentle curve of these worn stones, smoothed by countless hands that have traced their paths seeking solace, understanding, and peace. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of aged parchment, damp earth, and distant incense. Imagine the soft rustle of fabric as pilgrims once cloaked in humble robes moved quietly through these halls, their footsteps barely disturbing the profound silence. Somewhere far away, the steady drip of water marks the slow passage of time, a gentle pulse in the sanctuary of remembrance. Picture niches filled with bones arranged in intricate, almost delicate patterns, a geometric harmony of life's remains shaped by reverence and care. Skulls, femurs, and tibias form arches and spirals, each arrangement an unspoken prayer and a testament to the care with which these resting places were maintained. Nearby, small altars bear the faded remains of candles, wreaths, and personal tokens left by loved ones who honored these forgotten souls. The catacombs are not merely chambers of the dead, but living monuments to human connection. Each name inscribed or whispered here is a thread in the vast tapestry of history, linking generations separated by centuries, but united in memory. Imagine the stories behind these names. Lives of joy and sorrow, hope and despair, all woven into the fabric of this subterranean world. Outside, nature's quiet resilience paints the ruins with shades of green and gray. Ivy snakes along crumbling walls, and wildflowers bloom in secret corners where light manages to reach. The delicate interplay of decay and life offers a gentle reminder that even in silence and stillness, there is beauty, renewal, and continuity. As you breathe deeply and listen to this story, let the enduring peace and quiet reverence of the catacombs cradle your thoughts. Allow their ancient echoes and gentle mysteries to guide you softly into the restful sleep that awaits beneath the embrace of history and time. As the deepest hours of the night envelop the catacombs, a profound tranquility settles over this ancient sanctuary of memory and reverence. The moon, hanging low and luminous through cracks high above, bathes the stone corridors in a silvery, ethereal light. This soft illumination reveals every curve and crack in the weathered walls, the delicate carvings etched by hands long gone, and the fragile parchment still nestled within forgotten alcoves. The cool air carries the faint scent of old parchment mingled with earth and the subtle musk of aged stone, weaving a silent hymn to the countless souls who rest here. Imagine standing quietly amidst rows of ancient texts and meticulously arranged ossuaries, each one a testament to lives once lived, loves once cherished, and stories now whispered only by the shadows. The air is thick with the weight of history, yet it soothes like a gentle lullaby, inviting the heart to slow its pace and the mind to release its cares. The steady drip of water echoes faintly, like a heartbeat connecting the past with the present, while the occasional rustle of a night creature stirs the stillness with a whisper of life. The catacombs are more than resting places. They are sacred repositories of human experience, a place where memory endures beyond the limits of time and space. Picture the names inscribed on weathered stone tablets, each letter a fragile thread woven into the vast tapestry of history. Nearby, faded frescoes and carvings tell silent stories of faith, hope, and the eternal cycle of life and death, their muted colors glowing softly in the moonlight. Outside, nature's quiet embrace reaches even here, as ivy tendrils creep through cracks and delicate wildflowers bloom in secret crevices. The interplay of decay and renewal, shadow and light, creates a sacred harmony that whispers of resilience and the enduring beauty of remembrance. As you let this story settle gently within you, allow the profound stillness and timeless grace of the catacombs to cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Let this sacred place guide you softly into peaceful sleep, wrapped in the gentle embrace of history's enduring mysteries and the quiet promise of renewal. Hello, dear listener. Have you settled in comfortably? If your eyes are still open, gently close them now. Find a quiet place to rest and allow yourself to breathe slowly and deeply. Tonight, I invite you to journey with me into a place where silence speaks, the silent choirs of abandoned churches. These ancient sacred spaces, once filled with voices raised in song and prayer, now hold only echoes and memories beneath their crumbling walls. Let the calm and stillness of the story soothe your mind as you drift gently toward peaceful sleep. Long ago, nestled among rolling hills and quiet villages, stood churches once alive with the vibrant chorus of worshippers. Imagine towering stone spires reaching skyward, their silhouettes cutting sharply against soft morning skies. Beneath these spires, wooden pews polished by countless hands stretched in orderly rows, while stained glass windows bathed the interiors in kaleidoscopes of muted colors, reds, blues, and golds that flickered gently with the morning light. The air inside was once filled with music, voices rising in harmonious prayer and song, the gentle strumming of organs, and the rustle of hymn books turned in reverence. Imagine the warmth of candlelight flickering softly against carved wooden altars, illuminating faces uplifted in devotion, and the quiet murmur of whispered prayers weaving a tapestry of hope and faith. But time, with its steady and relentless passage, brought change. Villages grew silent, congregations dwindled, and the once vibrant churches slowly fell into disuse. Doors that once welcomed throngs now creak on rusted hinges, and the pews, untouched, gather dust beneath fading frescoes. The stained glass, cracked and weathered, filters the light into muted shards, casting ghostly colors onto the cold stone floors. Outside, nature begins to reclaim these sacred spaces. Ivy creeps along the ancient walls, soft moss carpets the steps, and wildflowers bloom in the cracks where footfalls have long ceased. The wind whistles softly through broken windows, carrying with it faint echoes of forgotten hymns and distant bell tolls, silent reminders of the lives and voices that once filled these hallowed halls. Imagine standing in the nave of such an abandoned church, surrounded by silence that is at once heavy and gentle, filled with memories both vivid and fading. Here, in this quiet sanctuary, the silent choirs sing their unspoken songs, echoes of faith, loss, and the enduring beauty of remembrance. As you listen to this story, let the stillness and grace of these abandoned churches settle softly in your mind, guiding you gently toward restful sleep. As the years drift quietly by, the abandoned churches become enveloped in layers of stillness and nature's gentle embrace. Imagine the creeping ivy climbing steadily up the cracked stone walls, its dark green tendrils weaving intricate patterns over weathered carvings and faded inscriptions. Soft moss carpets the ancient steps, cushioning each footfall with a velvet touch, while tiny wildflowers bloom in the cracks between worn cobblestones, their delicate petals nodding gently in the breeze. The stained glass windows, once vibrant with rich reds, blues, and golds, now bear the scars of time, cracked, faded, and often missing panes. Yet when the pale light of dawn or dusk filters through, it still scatters muted colors across the cold stone floors, creating a quiet, ethereal dance of shadow and light. The air inside is cool and tinged with the scent of damp earth, old wood, and faint traces of incense long burned out, weaving an atmosphere thick with memory and reverence. Imagine the empty pews, their polished surfaces dulled by dust, lined in solemn rows as if still awaiting the faithful. The carved wooden altar, adorned once with intricate detail and religious iconography, now stands silent, bathed in soft beams of fading sunlight. Faint echoes of voices seem to linger here, the hum of a choir, the soft murmur of prayer, the gentle rustling of pages turning, ghostly remnants of devotion and community. Outside, the wind whispers softly through the open doors and broken windows, carrying the distant sound of rustling leaves and birdsong. The churchyard beyond is overgrown, with tall grass swaying gently and weathered gravestones leaning quietly among wildflowers. The place feels suspended in time, a tranquil sanctuary where the living and the past coexist in delicate balance. As you breathe in the stillness of this forgotten place, let the silent beauty and haunting grace of these abandoned churches calm your mind. Allow their quiet echoes to soothe your thoughts and gently guide you toward peaceful sleep. Deep within these abandoned churches, the silence carries a weight, a quiet resonance born of centuries of faith, hope, and sorrow. Imagine the vast nave stretching before you, its soaring arches and vaulted ceilings, carved meticulously by artisans long gone. The intricate stonework, worn smooth by time, tells stories not only in their shapes, but in the spaces between, the shadows where light hesitates to reach and where echoes gather. Picture the faded frescoes adorning the walls, their colors muted but still faintly glowing beneath layers of dust and decay. Angels with gentle faces, saints in flowing robes, and scenes of sacred stories emerge softly from the gloom, as if waiting patiently to be seen once more. The scent of old plaster and forgotten prayers lingers in the air, mingling with the coolness of stone and the faintest hint of wildflowers growing just beyond cracked windows. The wooden pews, though aged and silent, retain the memory of countless souls who once gathered here, families seeking comfort, lovers finding solace, and communities coming together in times of joy and grief. Imagine the creak of wood beneath a gentle weight, the soft murmur of whispered words, and the swell of a choir lifting voices in unison, all now quiet, yet present in spirit. Above, the stained glass windows filter the fading light into kaleidoscopes of muted hues that play softly across the floor, creating a mosaic of color that dances slowly with the shifting sun. Outside, the wind carries the faint chime of distant bells, perhaps a memory from another time, mingling with the rustle of leaves and the gentle hum of nature reclaiming this sacred space. As you stand in this hallowed hall, let the profound stillness fill your senses, wrapping you in a gentle embrace of reverence and peace. Allow the silent choirs of abandoned churches to sing softly within your heart, guiding you toward restful sleep with their timeless, soothing melodies. As you wander further into these abandoned churches, the atmosphere deepens, a sacred stillness woven from layers of history, memory, and nature's gentle reclamation. The cool stone beneath your feet feels steady and grounding, while the distant light filters softly through cracked stained glass, casting shimmering fragments of color onto worn tiles and dusty wooden pews. Imagine the intricate patterns of vines and flowers, etched into the woodwork, now faded and softened by time, yet still echoing the devotion and artistry of those who once tended this holy place. Picture the altar, once the center of vibrant rituals and solemn ceremonies, now bathed in shadow, its surface mottled with moss and delicate lichens. The faint scent of extinguished candles mingles with the earthy aroma of damp stone and fallen leaves that drift in through broken windows. The silence here is profound but gentle, as if the very air carries the soft echoes of prayers whispered long ago, lingering like a sacred breath. Outside, nature weaves its quiet magic around the churchyard. Tall grasses sway with the breeze, wildflowers bloom in unexpected patches, and ancient trees stand sentinel, their branches whispering secrets to the wind. Weathered gravestones lean quietly, worn by time and softened by moss, their inscriptions barely legible but still holding stories of lives lived and loved. Imagine the soft flutter of a bird's wings as it passes through an open archway, its song a delicate counterpoint to the stillness. The wind carries distant sounds, perhaps the gentle tolling of bells from a faraway village or the rustling of leaves, a subtle reminder that life continues beyond these walls, even as the churches stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time. In this sacred space, where stone and nature intertwine, let your thoughts slow and your breath deepen. Allow the silent choirs of abandoned churches, their echoes, their memories, and their quiet grace to wash over you, guiding you gently toward peaceful sleep. As the evening shadows lengthen and merge with the soft glow filtering through stained glass, the abandoned churches become enveloped in a hushed reverence, a quiet sanctuary where time itself seems to pause. Imagine the interplay of light and shadow weaving across ancient stone walls, illuminating intricate carvings of angels and saints whose watchful eyes seem to follow silently through the ages. The scent of old wood mingles with the faint trace of wax from long-burned candles, a delicate reminder of prayers once lifted to the heavens within these hallowed halls. Picture the worn steps leading to the altar, their surfaces polished smooth by generations of footsteps, now dusted with a soft layer of neglect. The altar cloths, once vibrant and richly embroidered, have faded to gentle whispers of their former glory, their textures softened by years of silence. Above, the high vaulted ceilings soar, their arches tracing graceful curves that cradle the lingering spirit of devotion and solace. Outside, the grounds surrounding the churches hold their own quiet stories. Weathered stone benches, half hidden beneath overgrown ivy and wildflowers, offer a place for contemplation and rest. Fallen leaves carpet the earth in a patchwork of golden rust, their gentle rustle carried on the breeze that whispers through ancient trees. The distant call of nightbirds adds a tender soundtrack to this peaceful scene, blending seamlessly with the soft creak of old wood and the murmur of a nearby stream. Imagine stepping lightly along worn paths that lead through forgotten gardens, where the wild reclaim their space. Roses bloom amid thistles, and vines entwine with crumbling statues, their petals and leaves dancing softly in the evening air. These gardens, like the churches themselves, speak of resilience and the delicate beauty that emerges from stillness and time. As you breathe in the cool, fragrant air, allow the silent choirs of these abandoned churches to envelop your thoughts. Let the weight of history and the tender embrace of nature soothe your mind and spirit, guiding you gently into the calm depths of sleep, where echoes of ancient hymns carry you softly through the night. As the night deepens and the last glow of twilight fades, the abandoned churches settle into a profound stillness that seems to echo through the ages. Imagine the cool, heavy air hanging gently within these sacred spaces, carrying the faint scent of aged wood, crumbling plaster, and the distant hint of wildflowers growing just beyond broken windows. Each breath you take feels slower, deeper, as if the very atmosphere invites calm and contemplation. Picture the worn stone floors beneath your feet, smoothed by countless footsteps long past, now covered in a delicate dust that whispers stories of pilgrims and worshippers who once sought solace here. The pews stand silent, their wooden frames weathered but sturdy, shadows pooling beneath their time-worn surfaces. Above, the vaulted ceilings arch gracefully, adorned with faded frescoes and delicate moldings, their colors softened by years of neglect, but still telling tales of faith and hope. The stained glass windows, cracked and weathered, scatter muted light across the interior, painting the space with fragmented hues of blue, red, and gold. Imagine how this softened glow creates a mosaic of colors on the dust motes floating gently in the air, a quiet dance of light and shadow that enchants the stillness. Outside, the moon rises high, casting its silver light through the open doors and broken panes, illuminating creeping ivy and delicate blooms that weave through the stonework like nature's own tapestry. The churchyard beyond is cloaked in gentle darkness, where ancient trees sway softly and forgotten gravestones lean into the earth, their inscriptions fading but their presence enduring. The rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl blend with the soft sigh of the night breeze, composing a natural symphony that cradles the spirit. Within these hallowed halls and peaceful grounds, imagine the lingering presence of prayers whispered and hymns sung, echoes that reverberate softly, intertwining with the quiet sounds of the night. The silent choirs of abandoned churches carry with them a timeless grace, a gentle reminder of human faith, resilience, and the enduring beauty found in stillness and memory. As you breathe deeply and surrender to this tranquil embrace, allow the quiet majesty of these sacred spaces to calm your thoughts and soothe your heart, guiding you gently into the restful depths of sleep. As the night stretches on, the abandoned churches stand like silent guardians over the memories of countless souls. Imagine the vast interiors, their high vaulted ceilings soaring above like ancient arches of a forgotten cathedral, where every beam and stone carries the weight of prayers, offered long ago. The cold stone beneath your feet feels both grounding and sacred, worn smooth by generations of footsteps now stilled, yet still echoing faintly in the vast quiet. Picture the play of candlelight, though the flames are long extinguished. Their ghostly glow seems to linger in the shadows, dancing softly upon the cracked walls and faded murals. The artwork, though faded and chipped, reveals glimpses of saints, angels, and sacred stories that once filled the hearts of worshippers with hope and reverence. The scent of old incense seems to hover, a delicate veil of remembrance that wraps gently around the empty pews and dusty altars. Outside, the moonlight spills through broken stained glass, casting kaleidoscopic patterns of muted reds, blues, and golds upon the stone floor. Ivy tendrils creep silently along the walls and columns, intertwining with the delicate tracery of carved woodwork, as if nature herself seeks to cradle and protect this sacred place. Soft rustlings of nocturnal creatures echo faintly, an owl's distant call, the flutter of a moth's wings, the whisper of leaves in the gentle night breeze. Imagine wandering slowly through the nave and side chapels, each space steeped in quiet reverence and the heavy stillness of time. The altar, though worn and weathered, stands firm, a silent testament to faith's endurance. Broken fragments of stained glass and fallen wood litter the floor, mingling with petals from wildflowers carried inside by the wind. The overall air is one of peaceful melancholy, a blend of loss and grace that invites deep reflection and calm. As you breathe deeply, feel the gentle embrace of this timeless sanctuary wrap around you. Allow the silent choirs of abandoned churches, their faded beauty, lingering scents, and soft shadows to calm your mind and soothe your spirit. Let their quiet majesty guide you gently toward restful sleep, as their unspoken hymns sing softly in the stillness of the night. As the deep night enfolds the abandoned churches, a serene stillness blankets these ancient sanctuaries, where every stone and shadow whispers stories of faith and time's gentle passage. Imagine standing beneath the soaring arches of a once grand cathedral, the vast space around you humming softly, with the echoes of chants and prayers that once filled these hallowed halls. The air is cool and thick with the scent of aged wood, dust, and a faint trace of incense, remnants of devotion that linger like a tender embrace. Visualize the delicate interplay of light and shadow as moonlight filters through fractured stained glass windows, scattering fragmented colors onto the cold stone floor. Each shard of glass tells a story, depictions of saints, angels, and sacred symbols, their faded hues softly glowing in the silver light. The flicker of imagined candlelight dances in your mind's eye, casting gentle, moving shadows that seem to breathe life into the silent space. Outside, the wind whispers through the broken doors and cracked windows, carrying the distant murmur of rustling leaves and the soft call of nightbirds. Ivy tendrils weave their way through crumbling walls, while wildflowers bloom quietly in secret nooks, their petals brushing gently against weathered stone. The churchyard is cloaked in darkness, where ancient gravestones stand sentinel beneath the watchful gaze of the stars. Picture the worn pews aligned in solemn rows, their wooden surfaces smooth and polished by countless hands long gone. The altar, though weathered, retains an aura of sacredness, draped in shadows and soft moonlight. Faint traces of ancient frescoes adorn the walls, their colors softened by time, but still hinting at stories of hope, resurrection, and eternal peace. As you breathe deeply, allow the profound calm of this sacred space to wash over you. Let the silent choirs of abandoned churches, their whispered histories, lingering fragrances, and gentle shadows soothe your mind and cradle your spirit. In this stillness, find a refuge where your thoughts can quiet, your heart can rest, and sleep can come softly, wrapped in the enduring grace of faith and memory. As the night deepens, the abandoned churches become timeless vessels, holding the memories of generations in their silent embrace. Imagine wandering slowly through the nave, your footsteps softened by layers of dust and fallen leaves that drift in through broken windows. The cool air carries the mingled scents of damp stone, aged wood, and faint remnants of incense, a fragrant tapestry woven from centuries of devotion. Picture the worn stone pillars, their surfaces etched with delicate carvings of vines, angels, and saints, softened by time but still vivid in their grace. These pillars rise like ancient sentinels, supporting vaulted ceilings that once echoed with hymns and prayers. Now the vast spaces hum with a quiet reverence, filled with shadows that seem to whisper secrets and stories long forgotten. The faded frescoes on the walls tell their own tales, scenes of sacred rituals, angelic hosts, and moments of divine light. Their colors, though muted, shimmer softly in the moonlight that filters through shards of stained glass, casting a kaleidoscope of gentle hues across the cold floor. The delicate interplay of light and shadow breathes a subtle life into the silence, as if the church itself remembers the voices that once filled it. Outside, nature's quiet presence surrounds the churchyard. Wildflowers sway gently in the breeze, their colors soft against the backdrop of weathered gravestones and tangled ivy. The rustle of leaves mingles with the distant call of nightbirds, creating a soothing symphony that wraps around the ruins like a lullaby. Imagine the stories embedded in these stones, the hopes and prayers of those who came seeking comfort, the laughter of children playing in the sunlight, the solemn farewells whispered in shadowed corners. Each element of the sacred space carries a piece of the human experience, a bridge between past and present, life and memory. As you breathe deeply and let your thoughts settle, allow the silent choirs of these abandoned churches to envelop you in their gentle embrace. Let their timeless grace and quiet beauty guide you softly into restful sleep, carried on the wings of whispered hymns and the tender breath of history. As the final hours of the night stretch on, the abandoned churches rest beneath a celestial canopy, their silent walls holding the weight of centuries like sacred keepsakes. The moon, now high and radiant, bathes the vast interiors in a gentle silver light, casting soft shadows that stretch and fold like whispered prayers across the ancient stone floors. Imagine the delicate tracery of stained glass windows glowing faintly, the fractured panes filtering the moonbeams into muted mosaics of blues, reds, and golds that shimmer quietly in the still air. The scent of old timber and cool stone mingles with the faint, lingering aroma of extinguished candles and dried flowers, remnants of devotion left behind by those who once found solace here. The hush of the night is broken only by the distant call of an owl or the soft rustle of leaves as a gentle breeze weaves through broken arches and open doorways, wrapping the space in nature's quiet embrace. Picture the high vaulted ceilings arching gracefully overhead, their intricate carvings softened by time, but still hinting at the grandeur and faith that built them. Worn wooden pews stand in solemn rows, their surfaces polished smooth by God's countless hands now long gone. Nearby, the altar, though weathered, holds a quiet dignity, draped in shadows and touched by silvery moonlight, a silent witness to prayers whispered and hymns sung in ages past. Outside, the churchyard lies wrapped in darkness, where ancient trees stand sentinel, their branches swaying gently against the starlit sky. Weathered gravestones, softened by moss and time, lean silently in rows, their inscriptions fading but their presence enduring, a testament to lives remembered and stories carried on the wind. As you breathe deeply in this sacred stillness, allow the gentle majesty of the abandoned churches to cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Let the silent choirs, the echoes of faith, love, and remembrance, guide you softly into peaceful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the tender embrace of history and the quiet promise of dawn. Hello there and welcome back. Have you found a comfortable place to rest? If your mind is still busy, gently close your eyes and take a slow, calming breath. Tonight, I'd like to share with you a quiet story from our Boring History for Sleep series, The Wellspring Where Pilgrims Waited. It's a tale of a sacred place, where weary travelers once gathered to find hope and renewal beneath the endless sky. Let the peaceful rhythm of the story ease your thoughts as you begin to drift toward restful sleep. Long ago, nestled within a gentle valley cradled by rolling hills, there lay a sacred place known as the Wellspring, a source of life and hope for countless weary pilgrims. Imagine a cool, clear spring bubbling softly from the earth, its waters shimmering like liquid glass beneath the dappled sunlight, filtering through ancient trees. The air here is crisp and fresh, filled with the scent of wildflowers and moist earth, carrying a quiet promise of renewal and peace. Picture the pilgrims arriving from distant lands, their faces marked by fatigue and longing, their footsteps slow but purposeful as they draw nearer to this hallowed well. They come with heavy burdens, both physical and spiritual, seeking solace in the healing waters and comfort in the quiet sanctuary that surrounds the spring. Imagine their worn cloaks brushing against soft grasses, their voices hushed in reverence as they gather near the water's edge. The wellspring itself is framed by smooth stones, worn by countless hands reaching out to drink, to wash, to renew. Around it, wild herbs and delicate flowers grow in gentle abundance, their colors muted but vibrant, a living testament to the life-giving power of this sacred place. The soft murmur of the water mingles with the whisper of the breeze through the trees, creating a soothing symphony that calms the restless heart. Imagine small groups of pilgrims seated on fallen logs and mossy rocks, sharing quiet stories and prayers, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of dawn or dusk. Some close their eyes in silent meditation, while others lift their hands in gestures of hope and gratitude. The air hums gently with the energy of faith and renewal, a sacred space suspended between earth and sky, past and present. As you listen to the story, allow the tranquil beauty and gentle rhythm of the wellspring to wash over your mind and spirit. Let the peaceful sanctuary of this place guide you softly toward restful sleep, wrapped in the quiet embrace of hope and healing. As the pilgrims settled around the wellspring, the sacred space seemed to breathe with a gentle life of its own, a sanctuary where nature and spirit intertwined in quiet harmony. Imagine the soft rustling of leaves overhead as the ancient trees swayed in a slow, timeless dance, their branches weaving intricate patterns against the sky. The sunlight filtered through the canopy in warm, dappled patches, casting gentle light across the gathering of weary souls below. Picture the wellspring's water, clear and cool, flowing steadily from its stone cradle, its surface rippling softly as pilgrims dipped their hands and cupped the life-giving liquid to their lips. The water carried a subtle scent of fresh earth and wild herbs, promising healing and renewal with every drop. Around the spring, delicate flowers, purple violets, white lilies, and soft bluebells, bloomed quietly, their petals shimmering with the gentle touch of morning dew. The pilgrims themselves were a tapestry of stories and backgrounds. Some arrived alone, seeking answers to silent questions only their hearts could voice. Others traveled in groups, bound by shared faith or common hardships, offering each other quiet support through nods and whispered prayers. Their faces, weathered by journeys long and arduous, softened in the presence of the wellspring's peace, as though the burdens they carried began to lift with the gentle rhythm of flowing water. Imagine the sounds that filled the air, a soft murmur of voices blending with the gentle splash of water, the distant song of a nightingale, and the whisper of the wind weaving through the trees. Occasionally, a child's laughter would ripple softly across the clearing, a joyful note in the symphony of quiet reverence. The atmosphere was thick with gratitude and hope, a shared breath held between earth and sky. Beyond the wellspring, the landscape stretched outward in gentle hills and verdant meadows, dotted with wildflowers and the occasional stone marker left by pilgrims past. The horizon held the soft glow of dawn or dusk, a reminder of time's steady passage and the enduring nature of faith. As you listen and imagine this sacred gathering, let the serene beauty and quiet strength of the wellspring surround you. Allow the gentle flow of water and spirit to calm your thoughts, guiding you softly into restful sleep, cradled in the timeless embrace of healing and hope. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the wellspring continued to nurture those who sought its solace, becoming not just a source of water, but a well of hope and renewal for all who came. Imagine the way the sunlight danced on the surface of the crystal clear water, sending ripples of shimmering light across the smooth stones lining its bed. The gentle murmur of the flowing spring harmonized with the soft calls of birds perched in the surrounding trees, filling the air with a peaceful melody. Around the spring, the pilgrims settled into quiet routines, some kneeling to drink deeply, letting the cool water wash away fatigue and pain. Others resting beneath the shade of ancient oaks, their faces softened in contemplative stillness. The landscape itself seemed to embrace them, with wildflowers nodding gently in the breeze and the soft hum of bees flitting between blossoms, adding a gentle rhythm to the serene scene. Imagine the worn leather bindings of prayer books resting on laps, pages turned slowly with reverence, as quiet prayers and hymns mingled with the natural sounds of the sanctuary. The air carried a faint scent of lavender and rosemary, herbs that grew wild nearby and were often used in sacred rituals, adding a subtle layer of comfort and tradition to the gathering. The pilgrims' faces told stories of journeys both physical and spiritual, lines etched by hardship, eyes bright with faith, hands calloused yet gentle. Some exchanged soft words of encouragement, while others simply sat in silent companionship, connected by the shared experience of seeking peace and healing in this sacred place. Beyond the immediate circle of the wellspring, rolling hills stretched toward the horizon, their gentle slopes dotted with patches of wild grass and scattered stones, reminders of those who had come before, leaving quiet marks on the land. The sky above shifted slowly with the passage of time, the sun's warmth giving way to the soft hues of approaching evening, casting a golden glow that bathed the valley in tender light. As you listen and imagine this tranquil gathering, let the soothing flow of the wellspring and the gentle presence of the pilgrims wash over your mind. Allow yourself to be carried softly toward restful sleep, embraced by the enduring promise of hope, renewal, and quiet grace. As twilight began to settle over the valley, the wellspring transformed into a sanctuary of gentle shadows and quiet reflections. Imagine the fading light casting long, soft hues of lavender and gold across the rolling hills, the trees whispering secrets in the cool evening breeze. The air grew cooler, carrying with it the subtle scent of earth, wild herbs, and the delicate fragrance of night-blooming flowers awakening under the starlit sky. Picture the pilgrims gathered once more around the spring, their faces softened by the dimming light and the calm that settles with dusk. Some knelt quietly by the water's edge, cupping the cool liquid to their lips as a balm for both body and soul. Others sat on moss-covered stones or leaned gently against the trunks of ancient trees, their eyes closed in silent prayer or thoughtful contemplation. The murmur of soft voices mingled with the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant call of a nightingale, weaving a serene lullaby that wrapped the valley in peaceful stillness. The wellspring itself seemed to glow softly in the twilight, its surface reflecting the first stars that twinkled above. Delicate ripples spread outward as a gentle breeze stirred the water, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of those who came seeking solace. Around the spring, clusters of wildflowers and delicate ferns seemed to lean closer, as if to listen to the stories whispered in the quiet night air. Imagine the pilgrims' weary hands brushing against the soft petals of nearby blooms, their rough textures contrasting with the delicate beauty of the flowers, a reminder of life's resilience and the delicate balance between strength and fragility. Nearby, a small fire flickered softly, its warm glow casting dancing shadows on the faces of those gathered, bringing a sense of comfort and community in the embrace of the night. Beyond the sanctuary, the valley stretched out under a sky deepening into midnight blue, studded with countless stars. The gentle rustle of the trees and the soft chorus of nocturnal creatures created a symphony of calm that seemed to hush even the restless thoughts of the day. In this sacred stillness, the wellspring held its timeless promise, a place where weary souls could find renewal, and where hope could bloom anew beneath the watchful gaze of the night sky. As you listen and let the scene unfold in your mind, allow the peaceful rhythms of the wellspring and the gentle presence of the pilgrims to soothe your heart and quiet your mind. Let this tranquil sanctuary carry you softly into the embrace of restful sleep, wrapped in the gentle grace of renewal and hope. As the deep night settles over the valley, the wellspring remains a beacon of quiet hope and renewal, its waters shimmering gently under the silver light of the moon. Imagine the landscape bathed in soft ethereal hues, the dark silhouettes of trees standing sentinel around the sacred spring, their leaves whispering softly in the cool night breeze. The air is crisp and carries the faint fragrance of damp earth mingled with the subtle scent of blooming jasmine and lavender, creating a soothing tapestry of aromas that wrap gently around all who linger here. Picture the pilgrims, now resting peacefully beside the wellspring, their tired bodies cradled by the earth and their spirits lifted by the gentle sound of flowing water. Some lie on soft beds of moss, their breath slow and even as sleep claims them, while others sit in quiet contemplation, their faces serene beneath the vast starlit sky. The gentle murmur of the spring blends with the distant hoot of an owl and the rustle of leaves, weaving a lullaby that carries the soul toward restful slumber. The water itself holds a sacred stillness, its surface reflecting the constellations above, as if cradling the stars within its depths. Imagine the delicate dance of moonlight and shadow upon the ripples, a quiet symphony that speaks of eternity and the timeless flow of life. Around the edges, tiny frogs call softly, their voices a gentle chorus in the night's calm. Beyond the immediate sanctuary, the valley stretches into a landscape of rolling hills and ancient forests, where the silhouettes of distant mountains stand softly against the horizon. The night sky glows faintly with the Milky Way, a celestial river guiding dreams and carrying whispered wishes across the heavens. Here, in this sacred place, the boundary between earth and sky seems to blur, inviting all who come to lose themselves in the quiet magic of the moment. As you breathe deeply and surrender to the peaceful embrace of the wellspring, let the cool water and soft night sounds wash over your mind and spirit. Allow the gentle presence of this sacred place to soothe your thoughts and cradle you gently into the deep, healing rest of sleep, wrapped in the timeless grace of renewal and hope. As the quiet night deepens, the wellspring stands as a timeless sanctuary, nestled within the valley's embrace, a place where earth and sky meet in gentle harmony, and where weary souls find refuge from life's burdens. Imagine the soft glow of moonlight filtering through the branches of ancient oaks and willows, their leaves whispering secrets to the breeze. As it weaves a delicate lullaby through the tranquil landscape, the air is cool and fresh, tinged with the faint scent of pine needles and wildflowers, inviting calm and reflection. Picture the waters of the wellspring, clear and pure, flowing steadily from a natural stone basin carved by centuries of gentle currents. The surface glistens like liquid silver, rippling softly as a light breeze caresses its face. Around the spring, delicate ferns and mosses carpet the earth, their vibrant greens glowing softly in the moonlight, creating a serene carpet that cushions the feet of those who come to rest here. The pilgrims gathered around the wellspring seem almost part of the landscape itself, figures cloaked in simple fabrics, their faces serene as they drink deeply or sit in quiet meditation. Some trace their fingers along the smooth stones, feeling the coolness that connects them to the earth's ancient heart. Others clasp their hands in prayer, their whispers blending with the natural chorus of the night, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of a night bird, and the rhythmic splash of water cascading gently into a nearby pool. Imagine the stories carried by these pilgrims, tales of hardship and hope, of journeys long and arduous, of dreams carried like fragile flames through the darkness. The wellspring is more than just water. It is a well of renewal, a source of strength and healing that nourishes body and spirit alike. Around the spring, small offerings, simple stones, woven wreaths of wildflowers, and faded ribbons testify to the gratitude and reverence held by those who have sought its grace. Beyond the immediate circle of the wellspring, the valley stretches softly into the distance, where rolling hills and ancient forests merge beneath the starlit sky. The constellations shine bright, their steady light guiding travelers and dreamers alike. The night is filled with quiet magic, a sacred space where time seems to slow, inviting all who come to pause, breathe deeply, and find peace. As you let this tranquil scene unfold in your mind, allow the gentle spirit of the wellspring and the quiet presence of the pilgrims to soothe your heart. Let their peaceful energy cradle your thoughts, guiding you softly into restful, healing sleep, wrapped in the enduring embrace of hope and renewal. As the deep night stretches further into the quiet valley, the wellspring remains a beacon of serene light and timeless refuge. Imagine the gentle ripple of water as it spills softly over smooth stones, the sound a calming melody that weaves through the cool night air. The spring's surface reflects the vast tapestry of stars above, glimmering pinpricks of light that seem to dance and shimmer, casting a celestial glow upon the faces of the weary pilgrims gathered around. Picture the pilgrims resting in tranquil clusters, their forms softened by the gentle embrace of moonlight and shadow. Some sit silently on moss-covered stones, eyes closed in peaceful meditation or gentle prayer, while others share whispered stories of journeys past, voices blending harmoniously with the natural symphony of the night. The rustling leaves, distant owl calls, and the soft murmur of water. Their presence adds warmth and quiet companionship to the stillness, a shared solace in this sacred place. The air is rich with the scent of earth and blooming night flowers, jasmine, honeysuckle, and delicate bluebells whose petals seem to glow faintly in the moonlight. Around the edges of the spring, wild herbs such as rosemary and thyme grow in abundance, their fragrant leaves brushing softly against one another, releasing calming aromas that fill the cool air with a soothing balm. The valley itself feels alive with quiet energy, a place where nature and spirit intertwine in harmonious balance. Beyond the immediate circle of pilgrims, the landscape stretches into gentle hills veiled in the soft mist of night, where ancient trees stand sentinel, their branches swaying gently as if in tune with the quiet heartbeat of the earth. The horizon is softened by the faintest glow of approaching dawn, a promise of renewal and the endless cycle of life. Imagine yourself here, cradled by the gentle sounds and scents of this sacred place, embraced by the quiet strength of the wellspring and the calm presence of those who have sought its grace. Let this peaceful scene wash over your thoughts, quiet your mind, and soothe your spirit. Allow yourself to drift gently into restful sleep, carried by the enduring harmony of hope, renewal, and the tranquil rhythms of the night. As the night deepens, the wellspring remains a sanctuary bathed in moonlight, its gentle waters whispering stories of countless pilgrims who once gathered here, seeking healing and hope. Imagine the shimmering surface of the spring reflecting the vast expanse of the starry sky above, each twinkle a silent witness to the prayers and dreams carried through the ages. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the soft fragrance of blooming night flowers, jasmine, honeysuckle, and delicate bluebells that sway gently in the breeze, their petals glistening with dew. Around the spring, the earth is soft and moss-covered, cushioning the feet of those who walk here with reverent steps. The gentle rustle of leaves in the surrounding trees adds a soothing melody to the quiet night, harmonizing with the steady murmur of flowing water. Imagine the delicate interplay of shadow and light, where moonbeams dance on the ripples and cast fleeting patterns on the stones beneath the water's surface. The pilgrim's presence lingers in the air, a tapestry of whispered prayers, soft murmurs, and shared moments of silent contemplation. Some sit quietly on the grassy banks, their faces peaceful and serene, while others lean against ancient trees, finding comfort in the timeless embrace of nature. The worn paths leading to the wellspring are lined with simple offerings: small piles of stones, sprigs of wild herbs, and faded ribbons tied to branches, tokens of gratitude and remembrance left by those who sought the spring's healing touch. Beyond the sanctuary, the landscape stretches into rolling hills and dense forests, their silhouettes softened by the moonlight. The night sky above is a vast canvas painted with stars, their gentle glow inviting dreams to unfold and worries to fade. The cool breeze carries the distant call of an owl and the faint hum of night insects, weaving a natural lullaby that cradles the soul. As you breathe deeply, allow the tranquil spirit of the wellspring to envelop your mind and heart. Let the gentle sounds, scents, and soft light guide you into a restful sleep, wrapped in the enduring promise of hope, healing, and renewal. As the stillness of night deepens around the wellspring, the sacred place seems to pulse softly with the quiet energy of those who have come before. Imagine the water's surface, now a glassy mirror reflecting the vast cosmos above, every star twinkling like a distant beacon of hope. The gentle flow of the spring's crystal-clear waters whispers tales of renewal and healing, carrying with it the prayers and dreams of countless pilgrims who have sought solace here through the ages. The cool night air is thick with the delicate scent of night-blooming flowers, jasmine, honeysuckle, and moonflowers, mingling with the fresh, earthy aroma of moss and damp soil. Soft breezes weave through the surrounding trees, their leaves rustling in a tender symphony that soothes the restless mind and calms the heart. Somewhere nearby, the faint song of an owl threads through the night, a solitary call echoing the peaceful solitude of this hidden sanctuary. Imagine the pilgrims resting quietly by the water's edge, their weary bodies softened by the earth, their spirits uplifted by the serene beauty that surrounds them. Some lie peacefully on beds of moss, their breath steady and slow as sleep embraces them, while others sit in quiet meditation, their faces illuminated by the gentle glow of the moon. The murmurs of whispered prayers mingle with the natural sounds of the night, creating a tranquil lullaby that cradles the soul. Beyond the spring, the landscape stretches into gentle hills, cloaked in the soft shadows of twilight, where ancient trees stand as silent sentinels guarding the sacred place. Wildflowers bloom in secluded patches, their petals shimmering with dew, adding bursts of color to the muted palette of the night. The horizon holds the faintest blush of approaching dawn, a quiet promise of renewal and the endless cycle of life. As you listen and imagine this serene scene, allow the gentle rhythm of the wellspring and the peaceful presence of the pilgrims to envelop your thoughts and quiet your mind. Let the enduring grace and healing power of this sacred place guide you softly into restful, rejuvenating sleep, wrapped in the gentle embrace of hope and renewal. As the night reaches its deepest, most tranquil hour, the wellspring remains a steadfast sanctuary of peace and renewal. Imagine the soft silver glow of the moonlight bathing the sacred waters, casting gentle reflections that shimmer like whispers upon the smooth stones lining the spring's edge. The cool, crisp air carries the delicate scent of wild herbs and damp earth, weaving a calming tapestry of aromas that envelops all who gather here. Picture the pilgrims now resting quietly around the wellspring, their weary bodies nestled against moss-covered stones and beneath the protective boughs of ancient trees. Their faces are softened by the serene glow of the moon, eyes closed in peaceful slumber or gentle contemplation. The gentle babble of the spring's waters mingles with the soft rustle of leaves, creating a soothing symphony that cradles the soul and quiets the restless mind. Around the spring, the delicate blooms of night flowers, jasmine, honeysuckle, and moonlight blossoms, sway gently in the cool breeze, their petals glistening with dewdrops that sparkle like tiny stars. Nearby, the soft glow of fireflies dances through the shadows, weaving a subtle dance of light that adds magic to the stillness of the night. Beyond the sanctuary, the valley stretches into rolling hills and dense forests, their silhouettes softened by the haze of moonlight. The vast sky above is a canvas of stars, their gentle light guiding travelers and dreamers alike toward hope and renewal. The faint call of an owl echoes softly, a timeless song that echoes through the quiet night, blending seamlessly with the natural chorus of crickets and rustling leaves. As you breathe deeply and let this tranquil scene unfold within your mind, allow the timeless spirit of the wellspring to soothe your heart and calm your thoughts. Let the gentle flow of water and the peaceful presence of the pilgrims carry you softly into restful, healing sleep, wrapped in the enduring embrace of hope, renewal, and the quiet magic of the night. Are you drifting gently into sleep yet? Or is your mind still wandering somewhere between wakefulness and dreams? If you're still awake, no worries. Just lie comfortably, close your eyes softly, and let me take you now to a new story from our Boring History for Sleep series, The Room of Mirrors That Watched Alone. A place forgotten by time, where reflections hold secrets and silence speaks volumes. Just relax and listen as we step quietly into this mysterious chamber. Deep within an ancient, forgotten estate lies a chamber unlike any other. A room of mirrors that watched alone. Imagine a heavy wooden door, intricately carved with faded symbols and worn by centuries of silence, slowly creaking open to reveal a space bathed in a pale, ghostly light. The air inside is cool and still, tinged with the faint scent of aged wood and dust, carrying whispers of secrets long held within these reflective walls. The room stretches wide, its high ceilings adorned with delicate frescoes now faded to soft pastels, framing countless mirrors of varying sizes and shapes that line every inch of the walls. Each mirror's surface is mottled and dimmed by age, some cracked, others warped, yet all holding a peculiar depth, a mysterious gaze that seems to watch silently, as if the glass itself remembers what has passed before. Picture the way the mirrors catch the light, reflecting not only the flicker of a lone candle, but also the shadows that move like silent phantoms across the floor. The reflections ripple subtly, creating illusions that shift and dance, as if the room breathes and lives in quiet solitude. The silence here is heavy, yet gentle, a stillness so profound it presses softly against the senses, inviting reverence and introspection. Imagine footsteps, soft and hesitant, echoing faintly as if from a distant past. The echoes mingle with the faint creaking of the wooden floorboards, the slow settling of the old house, and the distant sigh of the wind slipping through cracked windows. The room feels suspended between worlds, a liminal space where reality blurs with memory, and where the watchers in the mirrors hold their eternal vigil. As you listen, allow yourself to be enveloped by the quiet mystery and haunting beauty of the room of mirrors that watched alone. Let the stillness calm your thoughts and guide you gently toward peaceful sleep, cradled in the gentle embrace of reflection and time. As you stand quietly within the room of mirrors, the atmosphere thickens with a sense of timelessness, where every surface seems to hold not just a reflection, but a story. Imagine the way the faint candlelight flickers, casting elongated shadows that stretch and curl across the tarnished glass. Each mirror, unique in shape and age, frames a silent watcher, a fragment of the past preserved in glass and silver, quietly observing the slow passage of years. The walls themselves seem to hum softly, resonating with memories whispered long ago. Imagine tracing your fingers lightly over the smooth, cool surface of a mirror, feeling the subtle vibrations beneath your touch, as if the glass breathes with the echo of forgotten moments. Some mirrors bear delicate etchings around their edges, ornate flourishes and symbols that hint at ancient rites and forgotten beliefs, adding layers of mystery to the already enigmatic space. Picture the reflections that shimmer and shift, not always mirroring the present, but sometimes revealing fleeting images from times past. A shadow crossing a room, a figure paused in silent contemplation, or the soft glow of a long-extinguished candle. These spectral visions weave a tapestry of the estate's history, telling tales of joy, sorrow, and the quiet passage of solitude. The air is cool and still, carrying a faint scent of old parchment and beeswax, mingled with the subtle aroma of wilted roses left long ago on a forgotten altar. The silence is profound but alive with whispers, soft, indistinct murmurs that seem to rise from the very walls, inviting you to listen deeply and surrender to the room's gentle secrets. Outside the chamber, the estate lies cloaked in twilight, its ancient stone walls draped in creeping ivy and shadow. The distant call of an owl and the rustle of leaves in the evening breeze provide a soothing soundtrack to the quiet solitude of the mirrors. Within this secluded sanctuary, time itself feels suspended, allowing space for reflection, not just of the self, but of the countless souls who once passed through these halls. As you breathe slowly and settle into this hushed world, let the haunting beauty and gentle mystery of the room of mirrors that watched alone envelop your thoughts. Allow the quiet reflections and soft shadows to lull you gently toward a peaceful, restorative sleep. Within the room of mirrors, time seems to fold upon itself, weaving layers of past and present into an intricate tapestry of silent stories. Imagine the flickering candlelight catching on each reflective surface, casting fractured glimmers of light that ripple like water across the walls. The mirrors, some framed with gilded edges tarnished by age, and others simple and unadorned, stand as silent sentinels, guardians of memories held deep within their silvered depths. Picture yourself slowly moving through this chamber, the soft creak of worn floorboards beneath your feet barely audible over the subtle hum of the room's stillness. As you gaze into one particularly large mirror, your reflection blurs and shifts, revealing not just your own image, but faint ethereal glimpses of those who once inhabited this space. Figures draped in flowing garments, faces both familiar and strange, caught in moments of quiet contemplation or whispered conversation. The air is cool and heavy with the scent of aged wood, fading perfume, and the faint lingering trace of candle smoke. Somewhere in the distance, the soft toll of a clock echoes faintly, marking the passage of time in this space where time itself feels suspended. The silence holds a sacred weight, inviting introspection and a gentle surrender to the mysteries held within the mirror's gaze. Imagine the walls adorned with faded tapestries, their threads worn but still telling tales of bygone days, scenes of grand halls filled with laughter, quiet corners of solitude, and the tender moments of lives long past. The intricate patterns shimmer faintly in the muted light, weaving together with the reflections to create a sense of layered history and enduring presence. Outside, the estate's grounds lie cloaked in the deepening twilight, where ancient trees cast long shadows over winding paths and forgotten gardens. The soft rustle of leaves and distant hoots of owls mingle with the gentle sigh of the wind, creating a soothing symphony that carries the echoes of solitude and memory through the night air. As you settle deeper into this quiet sanctuary, allow the haunting reflections and soft shadows of the room of mirrors that watched alone to cradle your thoughts. Let the gentle unfolding of its mysteries guide you softly into restful sleep, wrapped in the serene embrace of timeless stories and quiet contemplation. As you linger in the room of mirrors, the stillness deepens, enveloping you in an atmosphere thick with quiet reverence and timeless mystery. Imagine the way the pale candlelight trembles softly against the glass, casting wavering patterns of light and shadow that seem to breathe with a life of their own. The mirrors, each unique and worn by centuries of watching, hold within their depths 1,000 silent stories, moments frozen in time, reflections of lives once lived, joys felt, and sorrows borne. Picture yourself tracing the outline of an ornate mirror, its gilded frame chipped and faded, the intricate scrollwork softened by age. Beneath your fingertips, the cool glass is smooth yet strangely alive, as if it holds the memories of every gaze it has ever held. In its depths, fleeting images shimmer, a gentle smile from a long-forgotten face, the faint glimmer of a candle's flame, the soft rustle of silk against wood. These reflections ripple and change, revealing not just what is, but what once was, and perhaps what might yet be. The air here is heavy with the scent of old wood and dried roses, mingled with the faintest trace of wax from candles burned in forgotten vigils. The silence is profound yet tender, broken only by the soft creak of the house settling and the distant sigh of the wind weaving through broken panes. The room feels suspended in a delicate balance between presence and absence, memory and oblivion. Outside the chamber, twilight deepens into night, cloaking the ancient estate in a soft veil of shadow. The gardens lie quiet, their tangled vines and wildflowers swaying gently in the evening breeze. The distant call of a nightbird echoes faintly, mingling with the whisper of leaves and the subtle murmurs of nocturnal life awakening beneath the stars. As you breathe deeply and let your mind wander through this space of reflection and mystery, allow the gentle presence of the room of mirrors, that watched alone, to soothe your thoughts. Let its timeless stillness and the whispered secrets held within the glass guide you gently toward peaceful, restorative sleep. In the heart of the room of mirrors, time seems to fold and stretch, as if caught in the endless gaze of countless reflections. Imagine the space as a delicate dance of light and shadow, where each mirror captures not just an image, but a feeling, a whisper of emotion suspended between past and present. The flickering candlelight throws intricate patterns across the walls, revealing hidden details in the aged woodwork and the subtle imperfections etched into the glass surfaces by centuries of quiet observation. Picture yourself moving slowly among the mirrors, the soft creak of floorboards beneath your feet, blending with the faint rustle of silk and whispered footsteps long past. Each reflection offers a glimpse into forgotten moments, a hand reaching out, a smile that lingers only for a heartbeat, the fleeting glance of a visitor long gone. These ephemeral images ripple gently, creating a tapestry woven from memory, longing, and silence. The air is thick with the scent of old books and faded perfume, mingled with the subtle warmth of beeswax from candles that once burned bright. The walls seem to hum softly, with the echoes of whispered conversations, hushed prayers, and the soft strains of music that once filled the chamber. It is a space suspended between worlds, where the line between reality and reflection blurs into a delicate haze. Outside, the estate is cloaked in moonlight, the gardens bathed in silver glow as shadows stretch and intertwine beneath ancient trees. The night air carries the soft murmur of wind through leaves and the distant call of an owl, a natural symphony that harmonizes with the quiet mystery within the room. The world outside feels both distant and intimately connected, as if the mirrors hold the estate's soul in their silent watch. As you breathe deeply and surrender to the stillness, let the gentle mystery of the room of mirrors that watched alone envelop your thoughts. Allow its quiet grace and timeless beauty to soothe your mind, guiding you gently into the deep calm of sleep, where reflections become dreams and silence sings softly in the night. As the night deepens within the room of mirrors that watched alone, a profound stillness settles like a soft cloak, wrapping every surface, every reflection, and every shadow in an embrace of timeless serenity. Imagine the flickering candlelight casting a gentle glow that dances delicately across the tarnished glass, illuminating dust motes that float lazily in the cool air. The mirrors, standing like silent sentinels, capture and reflect this subtle light in fractured glimmers, their surfaces etched with the delicate scars of countless years. Picture the walls adorned with faded tapestries, their threads worn and softened by time, yet still rich with the stories of long past days. Scenes of grand feasts, quiet moments of prayer, and whispered confidences unfold gently in your mind's eye, blending seamlessly with the shifting reflections in the glass. The scent of aged wood and beeswax lingers, mingling with faint traces of lavender and wilted roses left long ago as offerings to memories cherished and preserved. The floor beneath you creaks softly, a gentle reminder of the life that once filled this chamber, of footsteps hurried or hesitant, of secrets shared in hushed tones. Outside, the estate lies cloaked in the deep velvet of night, where ancient trees sway gently beneath a canopy of stars. The soft rustle of leaves and the distant call of an owl create a natural symphony, harmonizing with the quiet murmur of the mirror's silent watch. Imagine now the reflections themselves, not merely glass and silver, but portals to a world where time folds and stories overlap. Faces shimmer faintly, half seen and half remembered. Glances exchanged across centuries, fleeting moments captured in the delicate dance of light and shadow. The room breathes with these memories, inviting you to become a part of its timeless vigil. As you settle into this sacred space, allow the gentle presence of the room of mirrors that watched alone to calm your thoughts and soften your spirit. Let its quiet mysteries and tender beauty guide you softly into restful sleep, cradled by reflections and shadows, held safe in the eternal watch of glass and light. As the night stretches deeper into its quiet hours, the room of mirrors that watched alone holds its breath in a suspended moment between memory and mystery. Imagine the delicate play of candlelight as it flickers softly across the uneven surfaces of each mirror, casting intricate patterns of light and shadow that ripple gently like waves on still water. The reflections shimmer and shift, revealing fleeting glimpses of scenes long past, figures draped in rich fabrics, the soft curve of a smile, the quiet tear traced down a cheek, all caught in the timeless gaze of the glass. Picture yourself moving slowly through this labyrinth of mirrors, each step echoing softly against the worn wooden floorboards. The cool air carries the subtle scent of lavender and old paper, mingling with the faint trace of beeswax from candles once lit in quiet vigil. The walls, adorned with faded tapestries and delicate carvings, seem to hum softly with the whispers of long-forgotten conversations and prayers, their voices lingering like a gentle breeze through the chamber. Beyond the room's confines, the ancient estate slumbers beneath a velvet sky, where stars twinkle like distant lanterns guiding lost travelers home. The soft rustle of leaves in the night air mingles with the occasional call of a night bird, weaving a lullaby of nature that intertwines seamlessly with the room's sacred stillness. The gardens outside, bathed in moonlight, are quiet sanctuaries where wildflowers bloom in secret, their petals unfolding softly in the cool night. Within this hushed sanctuary, the mirrors become more than mere reflections. They are gateways to memories, holding the stories of lives touched by love, loss, joy, and sorrow. Imagine the weight of these silent witnesses, their gaze steady and eternal, cradling the fragments of countless moments and emotions like precious jewels. The room breathes with their presence, a sacred space where time folds upon itself and the past is never truly gone. As you settle deeper into this timeless embrace, let the gentle mysteries and quiet beauty of the room of mirrors that watched alone cradle your thoughts. Allow their soft glow and serene stillness to guide you gently into restful, healing sleep, wrapped in the tender watch of reflections and shadows. As the night deepens further, the room of mirrors that watched alone becomes a realm suspended between reality and reverie, where reflections ripple with the gentle pulse of forgotten memories. Imagine the candlelight flickering softly, its warm glow casting dancing shadows that weave intricate patterns across the aged glass and ornate frames. Each mirror, mottled and tarnished with age, holds a silent story, a quiet witness to moments of joy, sorrow, and quiet contemplation that have unfolded within these walls. Picture the air thick with the subtle scent of ancient woods, mingled with the faint fragrance of wilted roses and beeswax from candles burned long ago. The temperature is cool yet comforting, as if the room itself breathes in sync with the gentle rhythm of your breathing. The silence is profound but alive, filled with the soft creak of settling wood and the distant sigh of the wind through cracked windows. Imagine yourself standing amidst the mirrors, surrounded by the soft rustle of fabric and the faintest echoes of laughter and whispered conversations, phantoms of a past that lives on in the gleaming depths of the glass. The reflections flicker and shift, revealing fleeting images of faces both known and unknown, caught in moments of longing, peace, or quiet resolve. These glimpses blur and fade like dreams upon waking, leaving behind a lingering sense of connection and wonder. Beyond the chamber, the estate rests under a velvet canopy of stars, where the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant call of a nightbird create a soothing symphony. The moonlight filters through broken panes, casting silver beams that illuminate creeping ivy and scattered petals on the worn floor. The gardens outside, silent and still, seem to hold their own secrets beneath the watchful gaze of the night sky. As you breathe deeply and surrender to the room's timeless embrace, let the quiet beauty and mysterious reflections of the room of mirrors that watched alone soothe your mind and cradle your spirit. Allow this sacred space to guide you gently into restful sleep, wrapped in the soft glow of memory and the tender watch of silent watchers. As the night deepens still further, the room of mirrors that watched alone seems to dissolve the boundaries between past and present, reality and dream. Imagine standing surrounded by these ancient, silent sentinels, their surfaces shimmering faintly in the candlelight, each holding 1,000 whispered secrets. The reflections ripple softly, revealing moments suspended in time, glimpses of laughter shared in quiet corners, tears shed in solitude, and the soft murmur of prayers carried on the breath of long-gone souls. The air is cool and fragrant, heavy with the scent of aged wood, beeswax, and the faintest trace of lavender lingering like a whispered lullaby. The stillness is profound yet alive, filled with the subtle sounds of the estate settling into the embrace of night, the creak of ancient floorboards, the sigh of the wind weaving through broken windows, and the distant call of an owl echoing softly in the darkness. Picture the faded tapestries that line the walls, their threads worn but rich with history, depicting scenes of joy, sorrow, and quiet reflection. The gentle flicker of candlelight brings these images to life, casting warm hues and soft shadows that dance in harmony with the shifting reflections. Outside, the gardens lie hushed beneath the silver glow of the moon, where wildflowers bloom quietly, and the leaves whisper tales of renewal and grace. Within this sacred chamber, the mirrors serve as portals, not just reflecting what is, but echoing what once was and what might yet be. Imagine the weight of countless eyes watching silently, holding vigil over the passage of time and the fragile beauty of human memory. The room breathes with their presence, inviting you to surrender to its gentle mysteries and find peace in its timeless embrace. As you relax and let this quiet world enfold you, allow the room of mirrors that watched alone to cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Let the soft glow, whispered histories, and tender reflections guide you softly into restful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the eternal watch of glass and shadow. As the night reaches its deepest hour, the room of mirrors that watched alone holds a serene, almost sacred stillness that seems to transcend the very fabric of time. Imagine the pale moonlight pouring softly through the high, arched windows, casting a gentle silver glow that caresses the worn surfaces of each mirror. The glass, aged and mottled with the patina of centuries, reflects this light in fragmented shards that shimmer like distant stars, creating a delicate mosaic of memories suspended in the quiet air. Picture the intricate details of the room, the ornate frames, their gilded edges dulled and chipped, the faded frescoes on the vaulted ceiling depicting ethereal scenes of angels and celestial light, now softened and blurred by time. The scent of old wood mingles with the faint aroma of beeswax candles long extinguished, weaving a subtle tapestry of scent that evokes reverence and tranquility. The gentle creak of the floorboards beneath your feet is a soft whisper of the lives once lived here, a reminder of footsteps that have long since faded into silence. Outside, the estate lies enveloped in darkness, where ancient trees stand sentinel beneath a vast expanse of twinkling stars. The night breeze carries the soft murmur of rustling leaves and the distant call of an owl, blending with the quiet heartbeat of the room to create a natural symphony of peace. The gardens, touched by moonlight, hold their own secrets, wildflowers blooming quietly, their petals shimmering with dew, and vines curling lovingly around broken stonework. Within the room, the mirrors hold their eternal vigil, silent guardians of memory and reflection. Imagine the countless faces they have witnessed, their joys, their sorrows, their whispered secrets, and the stories etched into the very essence of the glass. The room breathes with this accumulated presence, a sacred space where the boundaries between past and present blur, inviting you to rest deeply and peacefully. As you breathe slowly and settle into this timeless sanctuary, allow the gentle light, soft shadows, and enduring mysteries of the room of mirrors that watched alone to soothe your thoughts and cradle your spirit. Let this sacred stillness guide you softly into restful sleep, wrapped in the tender embrace of reflection, memory, and quiet grace. Hey there, are you still awake or gently drifting off somewhere between dreams and wakefulness? If you're still with me, I'm about to take you on a quiet journey through a place few have seen, the mysterious alleyways no map can find, a labyrinth of forgotten paths and hidden corners, where time seems to bend and secrets linger in the shadows. So get cozy, close your eyes if you haven't yet, and let your mind wander with me through these unseen passages. Imagine stepping into a labyrinth hidden within the heart of an ancient city, a tangled maze of narrow alleyways that twist and turn in ways no map can capture. The air is thick with the scent of worn stone, aged wood, and distant hints of spices from unseen markets. Shadows cling to the corners, where flickering lanterns cast pools of amber light that dance softly on uneven cobblestones beneath your feet. As you walk deeper, the alleyways seem to breathe with quiet life, faint echoes of footsteps long past, whispered conversations just out of reach, and the soft murmur of wind weaving through narrow passages. Walls rise on either side, weathered and scarred by centuries, their surfaces adorned with peeling plaster, faded murals, and ivy that clings stubbornly, softening the harsh stone with touches of green. The air cools as you descend further, the sounds of the bustling city fading into a distant hum, replaced by a hush that invites careful footsteps and whispered wonder. Picture the subtle play of light and shadow as lanterns flicker, revealing glimpses of forgotten doorways, half-hidden courtyards, and arches that frame the sky like secret windows to another world. Here, time feels different, fluid and layered, where past and present merge. The alleyways hold stories etched in every crack and corner, tales of secret meetings, quiet farewells, and hidden hopes. Imagine the faint scent of old parchment and leather mingling with the aroma of damp earth and wild herbs growing from cracks in the stone, a sensory tapestry that draws you deeper into this unseen realm. As you wander through these alleys no map can find, allow yourself to be enveloped by their mysterious charm. Let the soft whispers of history and shadow guide your mind toward calm reflection, gently easing you into the peaceful embrace of sleep. As you continue winding through these mysterious alleyways, the walls seem to close in gently, guiding you deeper into a world untouched by time. Imagine the cobblestones beneath your feet, worn smooth by countless footsteps, each stone bearing the memory of those who have passed before, their stories quietly etched into the very ground. The narrow path twists unpredictably, sometimes opening into small, hidden courtyards, where the sky peeks through a lattice of ancient branches and crumbling balconies. The air here is cool and carries a mingling of scents, the faint perfume of jasmine drifting from a secluded garden, the smoky hint of distant hearth fires, and the subtle earthiness of moss and damp stone. Lanterns hang from wrought iron brackets, their flickering flames casting warm, dancing shadows that play across peeling paint and weathered wood. The soft murmur of a distant fountain adds a gentle soundtrack, its water spilling rhythmically into a stone basin worn smooth by time. Picture small doorways tucked away beneath archways, some slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of cozy interiors bathed in the glow of candlelight. The faint scent of old books and simmering herbs drifts through these openings, inviting curiosity and a sense of quiet mystery. Around corners, stray cats slip silently through the shadows, their eyes gleaming like tiny lanterns in the dimness. As the city's bustle fades further into the background, replaced by the hushed stillness of these secret passages, imagine the stories whispered here, tales of lovers meeting in secret, merchants trading rare goods, poets seeking inspiration, and wanderers lost in thought. Each alleyway feels alive with memory, a silent witness to moments both fleeting and eternal. Let yourself be drawn into this hidden world, where time slows and the night wraps you in its calm embrace. Allow the gentle sounds, scents, and shadows of the alleyways no map can find to soothe your mind, inviting you to drift peacefully toward sleep. cradled by the soft mysteries of the night. As you venture further into these hidden alleyways, the atmosphere grows even more enchanting, wrapped in layers of history and quiet secrets. Imagine the cobblestones beneath your feet, now softened by moss and fallen leaves, their uneven surfaces telling tales of countless footsteps, some hurried, some lingering in contemplative pause. The walls, tall and close, bear the marks of time, faded graffiti from long ago, vines weaving their way through cracks, and weathered lanterns that cast pools of amber light like gentle sentinels guarding the paths. Feel the cool night air carry the mingled scents of damp earth, blooming night jasmine, and the faint hint of spiced pastries baking somewhere just beyond a tucked-away window. Somewhere, a distant lute or soft flute melody drifts faintly through the silence, a stray note from a wandering musician's tune, carried gently on the breeze. The hum of the city's distant life fades away completely now, replaced by the intimate sounds of the alley itself, a soft drip of water from a nearby fountain, the whisper of leaves brushing against ancient stone, and the occasional flutter of a bat's wings overhead. Visualize the narrow passageway opening into a small courtyard, barely visible beneath a tangle of flowering vines and delicate lanterns hanging from wrought iron hooks. In this secluded space, shadows dance softly on cracked tiles, and a single bench rests beneath a spreading olive tree, its silver-green leaves shimmering in the moonlight. This is a place of quiet refuge, a secret heart within the labyrinth, where time slows and the world feels still. Imagine the stories carried by this place, the lovers who met beneath the soft glow of lanterns, their whispered promises lingering like the fragrance of blooming roses, the merchants who exchanged rare spices and precious silks under the cover of night, the poets and dreamers who found inspiration in the alley's quiet solitude, their verses carried away on the night breeze. As you walk slowly through this hidden world, allow yourself to be embraced by the gentle mystery and tranquil beauty of the alleyways no map can find. Let the soft light, delicate sounds, and fragrant air lull your thoughts into calm reflection, guiding you gently toward the restful peace of sleep. As the night deepens, the alleyways no map can find grow quieter still, wrapping you in a cocoon of shadow and whispered secrets. Imagine the winding paths narrowing as you follow them, the high stone walls closing gently around you, their surfaces mottled with moss and ivy that climb steadily toward the heavens. The soft light of lanterns glows like fireflies caught in the gentle embrace of the dark, casting golden pools that flicker and shimmer on the uneven cobblestones beneath your feet. Feel the cool night air brush softly against your skin, carrying with it the subtle sense of wet earth, fragrant herbs growing wild in hidden gardens, and the faint trace of smoked wood from a distant hearth. Somewhere nearby, a faint melody lingers, a single violin string quivering in the night air, the delicate hum of a lullaby sung long ago. The city's distant murmur fades completely now, leaving only the intimate sounds of this labyrinth. The soft drip of water from a cracked fountain, the rustle of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze, and the faint echo of footsteps that seem to come from the shadows themselves. Picture small doorways set deep within the walls, some open just enough to reveal warm candlelight flickering inside rooms filled with the scent of aged paper and spiced wine. Behind one, the quiet murmur of voices drifts through, a conversation held in hushed tones, stories shared between friends long into the night. Beyond another, the glint of a silver goblet catches the lantern light, resting on a wooden table strewn with letters and delicate lace. Imagine the alleyways themselves as a living entity, holding within their winding embrace the memories of countless souls who have walked these paths. Lovers who exchanged secret vows, merchants who whispered deals beneath the moon, children who chased shadows with laughter that still lingers faintly in the night air. The stones beneath your feet are worn smooth by time, bearing witness to lives lived fully, quietly, and sometimes in secret. As you move slowly deeper into this hidden world, let the gentle mystery and timeless beauty of the alleyways no map can find wash over you. Allow the soft light, muted sounds, and fragrant air to quiet your thoughts and soothe your spirit, guiding you gently toward peaceful, restorative sleep. As you continue to meander through these secret alleyways, the night deepens its quiet spell, wrapping the narrow paths in a serene, velvety stillness. Imagine the cobblestones beneath your feet, now softened by a thin layer of dew, each step releasing a faint, earthy fragrance that mingles with the subtle scent of blooming night flowers. The walls rise high and close, draped in creeping ivy and delicate moss, their surfaces cool and textured beneath your fingertips as you brush gently along them. The lanterns hanging from wrought iron brackets sway softly in the night breeze, casting shifting pools of golden light that dance on the weathered wood and stone. Their glow reveals forgotten doorways, some slightly ajar, inviting curiosity with the faint scent of herbs, old parchment, and lingering smoke. Imagine the muted sound of distant laughter, a whispered conversation, or the soft notes of a lute drifting faintly through the air, remnants of life echoing through these hidden corridors. Along the narrow paths, tiny gardens flourish in unexpected corners. Pots filled with lavender, rosemary, and thyme bloom quietly beneath the moonlight, their fragrant leaves releasing calming aromas that mingle with the cool night air. Clusters of delicate night-blooming jasmine climb over trellises, their white blossoms glowing softly like stars fallen to earth. The gentle rustle of their petals in the breeze adds a tender rhythm to the tranquil symphony of the night. Picture a small stone fountain nestled within a quiet courtyard, its waters trickling softly into a moss-lined basin. The gentle splash of water creates a soothing melody, blending seamlessly with the natural chorus of the night, the whispering leaves, distant owl calls, and the soft flutter of wings from a passing moth. The courtyard is a secret sanctuary, a place of peace and respite amid the winding maze of alleyways. Imagine the stories held within these hidden paths, the secret meetings beneath lantern light, the soft exchange of whispered hopes and promises, the solitary steps of wanderers lost in thought. The alleyways no map can find are alive with the memories of countless souls, their spirits woven into the very fabric of this ancient city. As you breathe deeply and wander through this quiet world, let the gentle mystery and timeless beauty of these secret paths soothe your mind and cradle your spirit. Allow the soft light, subtle sounds, and fragrant night air to guide you gently into peaceful, restorative sleep. As the moon climbs higher, casting its silver glow upon the hidden alleys, the atmosphere thickens with a gentle hush, a sacred quiet that wraps around the ancient stones like a soft, comforting blanket. Imagine the cobblestones beneath your feet, cool and smooth from centuries of footsteps, glistening faintly with the night's lingering dew. Each step you take echoes softly, a gentle rhythm in the stillness, blending with the faint murmur of a distant fountain, whose waters spill quietly into an age-worn basin, creating a soothing, perpetual melody. The walls that line these alleyways rise tall and close, their surfaces mottled with the passage of time, weathered plaster peeling to reveal rough stone beneath, ivy creeping in serpentine patterns, and delicate tendrils of moss carpeting shaded crevices. Occasionally, lanterns hang low from wrought iron brackets, their flames flickering like watchful eyes, casting shifting pools of golden light that dance playfully on the textured surfaces. The soft glow reveals hidden nooks, tiny doorways partially obscured by climbing roses, window boxes bursting with fragrant herbs, and faded murals telling forgotten tales. Imagine the scents that mingle in the cool night air, the sharpness of rosemary and thyme, the sweet, heady perfume of jasmine and honeysuckle, and the subtle earthiness of damp stone and fallen leaves. These fragrances weave together in a delicate tapestry, inviting you to breathe deeply and let the calming aromas settle your thoughts. In the quiet corners of this labyrinth, the faint sounds of nocturnal life provide a gentle soundtrack. The flutter of moths' wings, the soft chirp of crickets, and the distant call of an owl echoing through the stillness. Somewhere, a cat pads silently across the stones, its movements a whisper against the hushed symphony of the night. Beyond the immediate embrace of the alleyways, ancient trees sway softly beneath a canopy of stars, their branches tracing delicate shadows on the ground. The sky above stretches wide and infinite, a celestial vault dotted with constellations that have guided countless travelers through the centuries. As you walk deeper into this secret world, allow yourself to be enveloped by its serene beauty and gentle mystery. Let the soft light, tender sounds, and fragrant air soothe your mind and spirit, guiding you gently into restful sleep, cradled in the timeless embrace of the alleyways no map can find. As you wander further through the alleyways no map can find, the night deepens into a profound stillness that seems to stretch infinitely in every direction. Imagine the cool air enveloping you, scented with the faint fragrance of night-blooming flowers and damp stone, wrapping softly around your skin like a gentle whisper. The cobblestones beneath your feet carry the stories of countless footsteps before you, some hurried with purpose, others lingering in moments of quiet reflection. Picture the narrow paths weaving unpredictably between ancient buildings, their facades worn and textured with layers of history. Weathered shutters hang slightly askew, and faded murals tell tales of forgotten celebrations and solemn farewells. Delicate vines curl around iron balconies, their tendrils brushing softly against cracked plaster, while lanterns hang from wrought iron brackets, casting warm pools of amber light that flicker and dance in the gentle night breeze. Along these hidden passages, the quiet murmur of a small fountain adds a soothing rhythm to the air, its waters spilling gently into a stone basin lined with moss and lichen. Nearby, benches carved from aged stone offer places of rest, where weary travelers once paused to catch their breath and watch the world slip quietly by. Imagine the soft flutter of a bird's wings as it passes silently overhead, its shadow fleeting across the ancient walls. The alleyways hold countless stories of lovers meeting in secret under the veil of darkness, merchants exchanging whispered bargains, poets finding inspiration in the hush of the night. Each corner turned reveals new layers of memory, woven into the fabric of stone and shadow. The air hums softly with the echoes of laughter, sighs, and whispered dreams, creating a tapestry of human experience that feels both distant and intimately close. As you continue your journey through this labyrinth of quiet mysteries, allow the gentle beauty and timeless calm of the alleyways no map can find to envelop your mind and spirit. Let the soft light, delicate sounds, and fragrant night air guide you gently into restful sleep, cradled by the enduring embrace of history and tranquility. As the night grows deeper, the alleyways no map can find become a world suspended between shadow and light, where every twist and turn tells a quiet story, etched in stone and whispered on the breeze. Imagine the soft glow of lanterns, casting pools of amber light that flicker gently against weathered walls, revealing intricate textures of peeling plaster, ivy-clad bricks, and ancient carvings worn smooth by time. The air is cool and fragrant, carrying hints of jasmine and damp earth, mingling with the faint trace of smoke from distant hearths. Picture the cobblestones beneath your feet, uneven and softened by centuries of footsteps, their surfaces cool and rough to the touch. Each step echoes softly in the stillness, a gentle rhythm that blends with the night's subtle symphony, the rustling of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze, the distant call of an owl, and the soft drip of water from a hidden fountain nearby. Somewhere, a cat moves silently through the shadows, its eyes gleaming like tiny stars as it weaves through the labyrinthine paths. Along the alleyways, small doorways open into warm, inviting interiors, their windows glowing softly with candlelight. Through one, you might glimpse the silhouette of a figure reading by the fire. Through another, the gentle clinking of glasses and muted laughter drift out into the night. The scents of fresh bread, spiced wine, and lavender mingle in the air, creating an atmosphere of quiet comfort and timeless hospitality. Imagine secret gardens tucked away behind wrought iron gates, where wildflowers bloom in profusion beneath the moonlight. Their petals shimmer softly, touched by dew, and their delicate fragrance fills the night air. Ancient trees stand sentinel, their branches casting dappled shadows on stone benches and moss-covered walls. The gardens offer a sanctuary within the labyrinth, a place to pause and breathe deeply amidst the stillness. As you wander through these hidden passages, allow yourself to be enveloped by their gentle magic, the soft lights, the murmured sounds, the fragrant air. Let the alleyways no map can find cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit, guiding you gently into restful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the enduring embrace of mystery and calm. As the night deepens still further, the alleyways no map can find unfold like a secret world beneath the vast canopy of stars, where time slows and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Imagine the gentle shimmer of moonlight filtering through the twisting paths, casting soft silver shadows that dance and weave across the uneven cobblestones. The air is cool and rich with the mingled scents of damp earth, wild herbs, and faint traces of smoke drifting from distant chimneys, creating a tapestry of fragrance that carries you deeper into this hidden realm. Picture the walls lining the alleyways, ancient and worn, adorned with peeling murals and faded graffiti, silent witnesses to the countless lives that have passed this way. Ivy climbs in graceful spirals, its verdant tendrils softening the rough stone and curling around rusted lanterns that sway gently in the night breeze. The flickering light spills onto doorways and windows, revealing glimpses of life tucked away behind heavy wooden shutters, soft candlelight, the quiet murmur of voices, and the faint clink of a glass. Along the narrow streets, small courtyards open like secret gardens, filled with blooming jasmine and delicate roses whose petals glisten with dew under the moon's watchful eye. Ancient fountains murmur softly, their waters tracing gentle paths over mossy stone basins, adding a calming rhythm to the night's quiet symphony. The gentle rustle of leaves and the distant call of nightbirds weave seamlessly with the subtle sounds of the sleeping city. Imagine the lives that have brushed past these hidden corridors, lovers sharing whispered promises, poets finding solace in solitude, wanderers seeking refuge from the day's noise. Each stone and shadow holds a story, a memory that lingers in the soft night air. The alleyways are alive with this quiet history, a tapestry woven from the threads of countless human moments. As you stroll slowly through this secret labyrinth, let the gentle magic and serene beauty of the alleyways no map can find. Cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Allow the soft light, muted sounds, and fragrant night air to guide you gently into peaceful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the enduring embrace of mystery and calm. As the night reaches its deepest, most tranquil hour, the alleyways no map can find transform into a realm of quiet reverence and gentle stillness. Imagine the soft moonlight weaving through the narrow passages, casting delicate silver patterns upon the worn cobblestones and weathered walls. Each stone seems to hold the weight of centuries, its surface smoothed by countless footsteps that have wandered these hidden paths, now bathed in a calm, silvery glow. The air is cool and filled with the subtle scents of night-blooming jasmine, damp earth, and faint traces of lingering smoke from distant hearths. These fragrances mingle softly, wrapping the night in a comforting embrace that soothes both mind and body. The gentle rustle of leaves overhead joins the distant call of an owl, creating a natural lullaby that weaves through the silence, inviting peaceful reflection and deep rest. Picture the quiet courtyards hidden along the winding ways, their gardens blooming under the tender gaze of the moon. Delicate flowers glisten with dew, their petals unfolding slowly, as if breathing in the night's tranquility. Ancient fountains murmur softly, their waters tracing gentle arcs into moss-lined basins, a soothing melody that lulls the restless spirit into calmness. Imagine the small doorways and windows that peek out from the shadows, where the warm glow of candlelight spills softly onto cracked plaster and faded paint. Behind these doors, the quiet lives of the city's hidden dwellers continue in hushed tones. A soft conversation, the turning of pages, the faint clinking of cups, echoes of human presence that add warmth to the stillness. As you walk these secret paths, feel the weight of history and memory envelop you, the whispered stories carried by the stones, the fleeting glances of moonlit leaves, and the gentle caress of the night breeze. Let the gentle mystery and timeless beauty of the alleyways no map can find. Cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Allow yourself to be guided softly into restorative sleep, wrapped in the serene embrace of shadow, light, and quiet wonder. Hey, are you still awake, or have you already drifted off into a peaceful sleep? If your mind is still wandering somewhere between dreams and reality, stay with me a little longer. Now I'm going to take you to a place wrapped in mystery and silence, the island where no one returned. Another story from our Boring History for Sleep series, where forgotten echoes and quiet secrets drift beneath the stars. So get comfortable, close your eyes gently if you haven't yet, and let's begin this slow journey into the unknown. Far from the familiar shores of bustling cities and thriving towns, there lies an island shrouded in mystery and silence, a place where few have set foot and none have returned. Imagine the vast expanse of ocean stretching endlessly around it, waves crashing relentlessly against jagged cliffs that rise sharply from the churning sea. The sky above is often cloaked in heavy clouds, casting a dim gray light that filters through mist and fog, wrapping the island in an eerie, almost otherworldly calm. The island itself is wild and untamed, covered in dense forests of towering trees, whose twisted branches weave a tangled canopy overhead. Beneath, thick underbrush rustles softly with the movement of unseen creatures, and the air is heavy with the scent of salt, damp earth, and ancient wood. Imagine the sounds of the wind whispering through the leaves, the distant cry of seabirds circling above, and the occasional rumble of unseen storms far out at sea. Along the rocky shore, the beach is strewn with jagged stones and driftwood, worn smooth by the relentless tides. Pools of dark water gather in crevices, reflecting the shifting sky like small mirrors. The terrain is rugged and unforgiving. Steep cliffs give way to sharp rocks, and hidden caves gape open like silent mouths, their depths swallowed by shadow. The island's silence is profound, broken only by the natural chorus of the wild, the crackling of dry leaves, the rustle of small animals through undergrowth, and the steady crash of waves. It feels as if the island itself is holding its breath, waiting, watching, guarding its secrets closely. Imagine the many who have sought to explore or claim this remote land. Adventurers drawn by stories of riches, researchers curious about its hidden mysteries, or sailors seeking refuge from storms. Each arrived with hope and determination, only to vanish without a trace, swallowed by the island's wild embrace. Their whispers remain only in the wind, their footsteps erased by the relentless passage of time. As you listen and imagine this isolated world, allow the wild beauty and haunting mystery of the island where no one returned to settle softly in your mind. Let its quiet strength and endless horizon guide you gently into the calm depths of restful sleep, wrapped in the tender embrace of mystery and silence. As the days stretch on, the island where no one returned reveals its untamed character more deeply. A realm ruled by the raw forces of nature, both beautiful and unforgiving. Imagine the dense forest canopy overhead thickening, where sunlight barely filters through the tangled branches, casting shifting shadows that dance on the forest floor. The trees are ancient and towering, their bark rough and mottled, vines coiling tightly around trunks and hanging like curtains swaying in a silent breeze. Beneath this lush green roof, the underbrush grows thick and wild, a tangle of ferns, brambles, and flowering shrubs that rustle softly with the subtle movements of hidden creatures. The air here is cool and damp, heavy with the scent of wet earth, moss, and the faint tang of sea salt carried from the nearby shores. Imagine the chorus of the island's wildlife, a distant call of a mysterious bird, the rustle of small mammals darting through leaves, and the soft hum of insects weaving through the humid air. The island's rocky cliffs stand tall and imposing, carved by centuries of relentless waves. Water crashes against these sheer faces in a continuous roar, spraying salty mist into the air that clings to every surface like a fine veil. Tidal pools nestle in crevices, home to shimmering fish and delicate sea anemones, their colors muted beneath the overcast sky. The beaches are narrow and rugged, strewn with smooth stones and driftwood, shaped by the endless dance of tides and storms. Imagine the eerie quietness that settles at dusk, when the sun dips low and the sky fades into muted shades of gray and blue. Mist rises from the forest floor, curling around tree trunks and shrouding the island in a soft, swirling veil. The distant call of seabirds slows, replaced by the whisper of wind through the trees and the soft crackling of dry leaves underfoot. Those who once ventured into this wild and lonely place spoke of its beauty, but also of its peril. The sudden storms that arise without warning, the treacherous cliffs that conceal hidden dangers, and the strange, almost hypnotic pull the island seems to exert on the soul. Many found themselves lost in the maze of trees and shadows, their voices swallowed by the vast silence, their paths erased by the ever-changing landscape. As you breathe in the cool, damp air of this remote island, allow its mysterious and wild spirit to wash over your mind. Let the haunting beauty and profound solitude of the island where no one returned lull you softly toward restful, dream-filled sleep, wrapped in the gentle stillness of nature's embrace. As twilight descends upon the island where no one returned, the landscape takes on a mysterious, almost ethereal quality. Imagine the fading light weaving through the towering trees, casting elongated shadows that stretch like silent sentinels across the dense underbrush. The canopy above becomes a mosaic of shifting shapes and muted colors, the last golden rays slipping softly through gaps in the leaves, mingling with the cool hues of approaching night. The forest floor, carpeted with fallen leaves, twigs, and soft moss, feels alive underfoot, cushioning each step and muffling sounds as you move deeper into the wilderness. Tiny creatures scurry away at your approach, their rustling footsteps blending with the gentle hum of crickets beginning their evening chorus. Somewhere in the distance, the faint hoot of an owl adds a haunting melody to the symphony of night. Imagine the scent of damp earth mingling with the delicate aroma of wildflowers that bloom only under the moon's pale light. Ferns unfurl their fronds slowly, as if in a dance with the whispering breeze that winds its way through the branches. The air feels cool and fresh, tinged with the salty breath of the nearby sea carried on the wind, a constant reminder of the island's isolation. Along the rocky coastline, waves continue their ceaseless assault, crashing with thunderous force against jagged cliffs. Spray rises in fine mist, catching the last light and shimmering like tiny jewels before falling back into the restless sea. Narrow beaches of dark, glistening stones lie hidden beneath overhanging cliffs, their surfaces smooth and cool, shaped by the constant ebb and flow of tides. As darkness settles fully, the island's nocturnal life awakens. Fireflies flicker like tiny stars among the bushes, their soft glow pulsing gently in the cool night air. The chorus of frogs rises from hidden pools, joining the distant call of night birds as they sing into the deepening silence. The forest itself seems to breathe, alive with unseen motion and quiet mystery. Those who once dared to explore this place spoke of its strange pull, an eerie sensation of being watched by unseen eyes, of shadows that shifted just beyond sight. Some whispered of lights that flickered in the distance, impossible to reach, guiding or warning travelers away. The island's wild beauty conceals its dangers and its secrets, holding tight to the stories of those who ventured here but never found their way back. As you listen and imagine the secluded world, allow the haunting allure and profound stillness of the island where no one returned to wrap around your thoughts. Let the gentle sounds and vivid imagery guide you softly toward deep, restorative sleep, cradled in the timeless embrace of mystery and solitude. As the night deepens on the island where no one returned, a profound silence envelops the rugged landscape, broken only by the gentle rhythm of waves lapping against the shore and the distant call of nocturnal creatures stirring in the shadows. Imagine the dense forest canopy above, now cloaked in moonlight that filters softly through the twisted branches, casting silvery patterns on the forest floor below. The underbrush stirs with life, small animals rustle quietly through leaves, and the delicate flutter of moths' wings adds a whisper of movement to the stillness. The island's rocky cliffs loom like ancient guardians, their jagged edges softened by the soft glow of stars scattered across the velvet sky. Pools of tidal water glisten in hidden crevices, reflecting the night's light like dark mirrors, while patches of seaweed sway gently with the ebbing tides. The air is thick with the mingled scents of salt, damp earth, and blooming night flowers that open their petals only after dusk, filling the night with a delicate perfume. Imagine wandering through this wild terrain, where every step is met with the crunch of gravel and the soft rustle of vegetation. The forest seems to hold its breath, every shadow alive with unseen eyes watching quietly from the darkness. Strange shapes flicker at the edge of vision, branches twisting in the wind, or perhaps something more elusive, leaving a lingering sense of mystery and awe. The island's isolation creates an atmosphere both haunting and strangely comforting, a place where nature's raw power and fragile beauty coexist in delicate balance. Imagine the quiet strength of ancient trees standing tall against the relentless sea winds, their gnarled roots gripping the earth like the hands of a steadfast sentinel. Between the towering trunks, shafts of moonlight create a patchwork of light and shadow, inviting moments of reflection and serene contemplation. Those who ventured here spoke of a feeling beyond the physical, a sense of entering a realm where time slows and the usual laws seem to bend. The island's silence is not emptiness, but a profound presence, an invitation to listen deeply and connect with the enduring spirit of the wild. It holds stories untold and secrets that drift with the mist, waiting patiently to be discovered by those who dare to wander its hidden paths. As you breathe in the cool night air and imagine this secluded world, let the mysterious beauty and quiet strength of the island where no one returned wash over your mind and spirit. Allow its timeless stillness to guide you gently into restful sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of solitude and wonder. As the night deepens further on the island where no one returned, the wild landscape becomes a sanctuary of profound stillness, a place where the elements and shadows weave together in a quiet symphony. Imagine the sea breeze carrying the briny scent of salt and the faint aroma of wild herbs blooming unseen beneath the dense canopy. The air is cool and fresh, brushing gently against your skin like a soft whisper, inviting calm and reflection. Picture the towering trees standing as ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching skyward like silent arms embracing the heavens. Moss and lichen carpet the rough bark, while delicate ferns and wildflowers carpet the forest floor in patches of muted green and soft pastels. The soft crunch of fallen leaves beneath your feet blends with the distant, rhythmic crashing of waves against the jagged cliffs, a soothing melody that lulls the island into peaceful slumber. Imagine the hidden paths winding through the dense underbrush, narrow trails just wide enough for a single traveler, lined with rock smoothed by time and weather. Occasionally, shafts of moonlight pierce through the leafy canopy, casting ethereal beams that illuminate patches of wildflowers and the delicate shimmer of spider webs glistening with dew. The gentle rustle of nocturnal creatures, small mammals scurrying through leaves, the flutter of moths' wings, adds a soft texture to the night's quiet soundscape. Along the rocky shoreline, tide pools shimmer under the moon's glow, their surfaces alive with tiny creatures, glittering fish, delicate sea anemones, and shimmering shells, all tucked safely within their watery homes. The cliffs rise dramatically above, their sheer faces etched by centuries of wind and waves, standing as timeless guardians over the island's secrets. Imagine the island's wild beauty and eerie solitude combining to create an atmosphere charged with mystery and wonder. This is a place where time seems to pause, where the past lingers in every shadow and the future is whispered on the breeze. Those who ventured here spoke of an unexplainable pull, a sense of crossing into a world apart, untamed, beautiful, and merciless. As you breathe in the cool night air and imagine this untamed refuge, allow the silent strength and haunting beauty of the island, where no one returned to envelop your thoughts. Let the timeless rhythms of nature and the quiet mysteries of the wild guide you gently into restful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of solitude and the endless horizon. As the quiet night settles deeper over the island where no one returned, the world around you seems to slow, embracing a profound stillness that breathes life into every shadow and stone. Imagine the dense forest canopy above, weaving a protective shroud, where moonlight filters softly through the twisting branches, casting delicate silver patterns that dance gently on the forest floor below. The air here is thick with the earthy scent of damp moss and fallen leaves, mingled with the crisp, salty tang of the ocean breeze drifting in from the nearby cliffs. Beneath the towering trees, the underbrush rustles softly with the movement of small creatures, mice scurrying through dry leaves, owls gliding silently overhead, and the occasional glimpse of a fox slipping through the shadows. The soft chorus of crickets and the gentle splash of distant waves create a natural lullaby, wrapping the island in a soothing, timeless rhythm. Picture the jagged cliffs standing like ancient sentinels along the shoreline, their rough edges carved and smoothed by relentless tides and fierce storms. The spray from crashing waves rises like a delicate mist, catching the moonlight and scattering tiny droplets that sparkle like stars. Hidden among the rocks, tide pools shimmer with life, tiny crabs darting beneath the water's surface, sea anemones waving their delicate tendrils, and schools of small fish shimmering like liquid silver. The island's wild beauty is both haunting and inviting, a place of contrast where the fierce power of nature meets delicate fragility. Imagine wandering deeper into this untamed world, where every breath draws in the rich scents of pine, salt, and wildflowers, and every sound, the rustling leaves, the distant call of a night bird, feels like a gentle touch on the soul. Those who ventured onto this mysterious island spoke of its strange allure, a place that both welcomed and warned, offering moments of breathtaking beauty alongside whispered tales of loss and disappearance. The island's silence is not emptiness, but a living presence, holding within it the echoes of the past and the promise of renewal. As you breathe deeply and let your imagination unfold, allow the timeless spirit of the island where no one returned to soothe your thoughts and calm your heart. Let its serene stillness and wild mystery guide you gently into restful, healing sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of solitude and the endless horizon. As the night deepens further on the island where no one returned, the atmosphere becomes thick with quiet mystery, an intangible presence that seems to watch from just beyond sight. Imagine the moonlight filtering through the dense canopy above, painting the forest floor with shifting silver patterns that ripple softly with the sway of ancient branches. The air is cool and still, carrying the gentle scent of salt mingled with pine and the delicate fragrance of wildflowers that bloom only under the veil of darkness. Beneath your feet, the forest floor is a soft mosaic of moss, fallen leaves, and smooth stones, each step muffled and gentle. Tiny creatures, silent as shadows, stir and scurry, their movements barely disturbing the profound stillness. The distant sound of waves crashing against jagged cliffs provides a rhythmic heartbeat, grounding the island's wildness in the steady pulse of nature. Picture the towering cliffs rising sharply along the island's edge, their rugged faces carved by wind and water over countless years. Spray from the relentless sea catches the moonlight, casting tiny prisms of light that flicker like scattered stars. Nestled among these cliffs, tide pools shimmer in muted blues and greens, home to delicate sea life that pulses quietly with the rhythm of the tides. Imagine the hidden trails winding through thick groves of trees, where the only light comes from the moon and the occasional flicker of bioluminescent fungi glowing faintly in the undergrowth. The air hums softly with the sounds of nocturnal life, distant calls of owls, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the whispered movement of creatures unknown. The island's beauty is haunting and profound, a place that seems caught between worlds, a refuge of nature's raw power and serene stillness. It carries the weight of untold stories and secrets, a silent guardian of memories long since faded from human reach. As you wander deeper into this enigmatic realm, allow the wild tranquility and timeless mystery of the island where no one returned to cradle your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Let the gentle rhythms, scents, and shadows guide you softly into peaceful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the enduring embrace of solitude and the vast unknown. As the night deepens, the island where no one returned reveals itself in all its haunting, wild beauty, an untouched sanctuary where nature's rhythms reign supreme. Imagine the dense forest canopy overhead, thick with ancient trees whose gnarled branches intertwine to form a vaulted roof of leaves and shadows. Moonlight filters through this living ceiling in pale, dappled beams, illuminating the rich tapestry of moss, ferns, and wildflowers carpeting the forest floor beneath. The air here is cool and heavy with the mingling scents of damp earth, salt spray, and blooming night flowers, whose subtle perfumes drift on the gentle night breeze. The soft rustling of leaves and the distant call of seabirds blend with the steady rhythm of crashing waves far below, composing a natural symphony that soothes the soul and quiets the mind. Picture the jagged cliffs rising dramatically along the shoreline, their steep faces carved by relentless tides and storms. Pools of seawater nestle among the rocks, shimmering with life. Tiny fish darting among the swaying seaweed, and starfish clinging to glistening stones. The salty mist carried on the wind brushes gently against your skin, refreshing and invigorating. Imagine wandering through narrow, winding paths framed by wild vines and flowering shrubs, where shadows play and shift like silent guardians. Along these hidden trails, the soft glow of bioluminescent fungi creates an ethereal light, casting ghostly shapes on the ancient tree trunks and tangled roots. The forest breathes around you, a living, breathing presence full of mystery and timelessness. The island's solitude is profound, a place where time seems to pause and the spirit can wander freely among memories both old and new. Imagine the feeling of standing on a cliff's edge, gazing out across the vast, dark ocean that stretches endlessly toward the horizon, a reminder of the island's isolation and the unknown paths beyond. As you listen and imagine this remote world, let the wild beauty and serene stillness of the island where no one returned wash over your thoughts. Allow the gentle sounds, scents, and soft light to guide you slowly and peacefully into deep, restorative sleep, wrapped in the tender embrace of nature's quiet majesty. As the night grows deeper, the island where no one returned becomes a realm of whispered secrets and quiet solitude, where the past lingers like a gentle mist over the wild landscape. Imagine the thick canopy of ancient trees above, their branches entwined like silent sentinels guarding the mysteries held beneath. The moonlight filters softly through the leaves, casting silver patterns that dance slowly across the forest floor, illuminating patches of moss and clusters of delicate wildflowers. The air is cool and fresh, tinged with the salty tang of the sea breeze, and the earthy aroma of damp soil and decaying leaves. The soft rustling of small creatures moving through the underbrush blends with the distant, rhythmic crashing of waves against the rocky cliffs. Somewhere nearby, the faint call of a nightbird echoes, weaving a haunting melody that seems to resonate with the very heartbeat of the island. Picture narrow trails winding through the dense foliage, their surfaces soft with layers of fallen leaves and pine needles. Along these paths, ancient stones, worn smooth by time, mark places long forgotten, perhaps a resting spot for weary travelers, or a marker of a memory now lost. Delicate ferns sway gently in the breeze, their fronds shimmering with dew, while hidden pools of water mirror the star-studded sky above. Imagine the island's wild beauty as a tapestry woven with threads of mystery and melancholy, a place where the echoes of those who once ventured here linger in the silence. The air seems to hum with unspoken stories, the weight of vanished footsteps, and the enduring power of nature reclaiming what time has touched. As you walk these secluded paths in your mind, allow the soft sounds, scents, and shadows of the island where no one returned to envelop your thoughts and soothe your spirit. Let the gentle rhythms of the wild guide you gently toward restful sleep, wrapped in the timeless embrace of solitude, mystery, and peace. As the final hours of the night unfold over the island where no one returned, a profound stillness settles like a soft veil across the wild terrain, wrapping every tree, stone, and wave in serene quiet. Imagine the moon hanging low in the sky, its silvery light spilling gently over the jagged cliffs and dense forests, casting long, tranquil shadows that ripple softly with the sway of ancient branches. The ocean stretches endlessly beyond, its surface shimmering under the celestial glow, a vast mirror reflecting the stars and the silent watch of the night. The air is cool and scented with a delicate blend of salt, damp earth, and the faint sweet fragrance of night-blooming flowers. Each breath draws in the calm essence of this remote sanctuary, inviting a deep, soothing peace to settle within your mind and body. The soft symphony of natural sounds, the rhythmic crash of waves, the rustling leaves, the distant call of a nightbird, creates a lullaby that cradles the island in its gentle embrace. Picture the hidden coves and rocky shores, where tide pools sparkle with the flicker of tiny marine life, their delicate forms moving slowly beneath the water's surface. The cliffs stand as timeless guardians, weathered and strong, their silhouettes etched against the glowing horizon. Within the forest, the ancient trees whisper softly in the breeze, their leaves shimmering like silver as the night deepens. Imagine standing in the heart of this wild place, feeling the weight of history and mystery that clings to every stone and shadow. The island where no one returned holds its secrets close, a silent testament to the power of nature and the passage of time. It is a place of solitude and reflection, where the quiet beauty of the natural world invites the soul to rest and the mind to wander freely. As you breathe slowly and let your thoughts drift, allow the timeless stillness and gentle mystery of the island where no one returned to carry you softly into restful, restorative sleep. Wrapped in the peaceful embrace of solitude, shadow, and starlight, may you find calm, healing, and quiet dreams. Hello there! Are you still awake, or have you already slipped into the gentle arms of sleep? If your mind is still wandering between dreams and wakefulness, stay with me a little longer. Tonight, I invite you to journey with me to a place shrouded in mist and mystery, the watchtower that faced only fog. This is another story from our Boring History for Sleep series, where quiet histories and lingering secrets unfold slowly like the morning fog. So, settle in comfortably, close your eyes softly if you haven't yet, and let your imagination drift gently with me into the hazy silence of the watchtower. Far along a craggy coastline, where the relentless sea meets towering cliffs, stands a solitary watchtower, ancient, weather-beaten, and perpetually shrouded in thick, swirling fog. Imagine the tower's rough stone walls rising starkly against the muted gray sky, worn smooth by centuries of salt spray and relentless wind. The air here is cool and damp, carrying the briny scent of the ocean mingled with the fresh, earthy aroma of moss and seaweed clinging to the rocks below. Around the watchtower, jagged cliffs plunge sharply into the frothing sea, waves crashing with steady, thunderous rhythm against the rocks. The fog rolls in continuously, weaving like a living thing, shifting, curling, and swallowing the landscape in a soft, impenetrable veil. Visibility is often reduced to just a few paces, and the world beyond the cliffs seems to disappear entirely, swallowed by the dense mist. Imagine the watchtower's narrow windows, small and deep-set, offering only glimpses of the mysterious world beyond. Inside, the stone floor is cold and worn smooth by the passage of countless footsteps. A spiral staircase coils upward within the tower's core, its iron railings slick with moisture. The faint echo of dripping water and the distant roar of the ocean create a constant soundtrack to the tower's lonely vigil. The tower once served as a sentinel, watching over the treacherous coastline for approaching ships and storms. Yet more often than not, the watchman saw only fog, a dense, impenetrable curtain that concealed both friend and foe alike. Their eyes strained against the gray nothingness, searching for shapes that never came into focus, while the cold seeped into their bones, a constant reminder of the tower's isolation. Outside, the landscape is rugged and wild, a place where hardy grasses cling stubbornly to thin soil, and twisted trees bend low under the weight of the mist and wind. The sounds of seabirds are muffled and distant, their calls barely piercing the thick fog. The watchtower stands alone, a silent guardian facing a world lost in haze and shadow. As you listen and imagine this lonely place, let the cold, quiet beauty of the watchtower that faced only fog settle softly in your mind. Allow the endless gray silence and the ceaseless rhythm of waves to carry you gently toward calm, restful sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of mist and mystery. As the fog thickens around the watchtower that faced only fog, the world outside becomes a silent, shifting sea of gray, where shapes dissolve into shadows and sounds are softened by the heavy mist. Imagine the dense fog rolling relentlessly over the jagged cliffs, swirling through narrow crevices, and wrapping the tower in an ever-changing shroud that blurs the boundaries between earth, sea, and sky. The air is cool and damp, filled with the sharp tang of salt and the earthy scent of wet stone and seaweed. Every breath carries the freshness of the ocean, mingled with the faint, lingering aroma of moss and damp wood from the tower itself. The fog muffles footsteps and distant cries, creating a thick silence that presses gently against the senses, inviting quiet reflection and a deep, calming stillness. Inside the tower, the stone walls seem to hold the chill of the fog, their rough surfaces cold to the touch. Imagine the worn spiral staircase winding upward, its iron railings slick with moisture and dusted with patches of soft green moss. The flicker of a single lantern casts a warm, golden glow that barely penetrates the dense mist curling through the narrow windows. The watchmen who once stood vigil here faced endless hours of waiting, their eyes straining to pierce the gray veil that swallowed the horizon. They listened intently for the faintest hint of approaching ships or distant storms, their ears attuned to the muted roar of the ocean and the occasional cry of a lone seabird. Yet, more often than not, their watch was marked by the eerie stillness of the fog, an impenetrable curtain that concealed all movement and muffled all sound. Outside, the rugged cliffs rise sharply from the churning sea, their jagged edges softened beneath the swirling mist. Hardy grasses cling to crevices in the stone, bending low against the relentless wind, while twisted, weathered trees lean away from the ocean's fury, their branches tangled and bare. The landscape is one of stark beauty and quiet desolation, a place where the elements reign supreme and time seems to stand still. Imagine the loneliness that must have settled deep in the bones of those who kept watch here, the endless hours of silence, the cold creeping in with every breath, and the unyielding fog that blurred the line between hope and despair. Yet within this solitude lies a strange kind of peace, a rhythmic stillness punctuated only by the ceaseless crash of waves and the soft whisper of mist. As you breathe in the cool, damp air and imagine this isolated sentinel, let the quiet mystery and haunting beauty of the watchtower that faced only fog cradle your thoughts. Allow its endless gray silence and the gentle rhythm of the sea to guide you softly into calm, restful sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of mist and memory. As the hours stretch on within the watchtower that faced only fog, the world outside remains a muted tapestry of shifting gray and mist, where reality seems to blur and time slows to a gentle rhythm. Imagine the fog weaving silently through the tower's narrow windows, its tendrils curling like ghostly fingers, wrapping the ancient stone walls in a soft, damp embrace. The cold seeps deep into the mortar, and every surface feels touched by the sea's relentless breath. Inside, the air is thick with the mingled scents of salt water and aged stone, mingling with the faintest hint of candle smoke lingering from the watchman's last vigil. The flickering lantern casts long shadows that dance and stretch across the uneven floor, revealing worn stair treads and the faint outlines of weathered carvings in the stone walls, markings left by those who sought solace or left messages for those who would come after. The narrow spiral staircase winds upward, its iron railing cold and slick beneath careful hands, guiding the way to the tower's summit, where the lookout once scanned the misty horizon. Imagine standing at this vantage point, the fog swirling thickly around you, reducing the vast ocean to a ghostly whisper of waves and spray. The world beyond the cliffs is a place of secrets and silence, where shapes and sounds dissolve into the pale gray veil, and the boundary between sea and sky fades away. Beyond the watchtower, the cliffs stand stark and jagged, their dark surfaces slick with moisture and moss. The ocean crashes below with relentless fury, its roar muffled yet unending beneath the thick blanket of fog. The spray rises and drifts in slow, swirling patterns, catching the weak light and scattering droplets like tiny prisms. Imagine the wild grasses and hardy shrubs clinging stubbornly to the rocky slopes, bending and swaying in the cold breeze, their resilience a testament to life's persistence in even the harshest places. The watchmen who once guarded this lonely outpost endured long nights filled with solitude and uncertainty, their senses sharpened by the constant presence of the fog and sea. They listened for sounds swallowed by the mist, the faint creak of a ship's timbers, the call of a distant gull, the whisper of wind through the tower's narrow windows. Their eyes searched the gray nothingness, yearning for signs that would never come, while the cold and silence wrapped tighter around their weary bodies and minds. As you breathe deeply and let your imagination wander through this lonely sentinel, allow the quiet strength and haunting beauty of the watchtower that faced only fog to settle gently within you. Let the soft rhythm of the sea and the endless gray silence lull you softly into restful sleep, cradled by the mist and memories that linger in this timeless place. As the night deepens within the watchtower that faced only fog, a profound hush settles over the craggy cliffs and restless sea. Imagine the dense fog pressing in closer, thickening into a silken shroud that softens every edge and blurs the line between earth and sky. The cold mist drapes itself over the tower's ancient stones, seeping into every crack and crevice, while the air carries the sharp tang of salt and the subtle aroma of damp moss and seaweed. Inside the watchtower, the narrow chambers are cloaked in shadows, the flickering lantern light barely reaching the corners where time itself seems to stand still. The cold stone walls hold centuries of whispered stories, tales of watchmen who braved relentless storms and endless fog, their vigilance unwavering despite the isolation. Imagine their footsteps echoing softly on the spiral staircase, their breaths steady but heavy with the weight of solitude and the ceaseless watch. The tower's summit offers only fleeting glimpses through narrow slits, views obscured by swirling fog and the spray of sea spray that clings stubbornly to the ancient glass. Beyond the windows, the world is a gray expanse, a shifting canvas of mist and waves where ships disappear before they can be seen and storms brew unseen. The relentless rhythm of crashing waves below forms a steady heartbeat, echoing through the tower and into the silence. Outside, the cliffs rise sharply from the sea, jagged and unyielding, their faces slick with salt and moss. Hardy grasses and twisted shrubs cling desperately to the thin soil, bowing to the constant wind that sweeps across the rocky promontory. The cries of seabirds pierce the mist in occasional bursts, their plaintive calls lost quickly in the fog's embrace. Imagine the watchmen, wrapped in heavy cloaks, their eyes scanning the fog-shrouded horizon with unblinking focus. Their hands are raw and cold from gripping the tower's stone and iron, their ears attuned to the faintest sound carried on the wind, the creak of rigging, the distant horn of a ship, or the first rumble of an approaching storm. Yet more often than not, they face nothing but the endless gray, an impenetrable veil that conceals friend and foe alike. As you breathe slowly and let your mind wander through this solitary world, allow the haunting beauty and quiet strength of the watchtower that faced only fog to soothe your thoughts. Let the gentle pulse of the sea and the enveloping mist cradle you softly into calm, restorative sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of mystery and silence. As the watchtower stands steadfast against the relentless advance of fog and sea, Its solitude deepens into a quiet companionship with the natural world, a bond forged through centuries of silent observation and steadfast vigilance. Imagine the tower's rough stone walls, weathered and scarred by countless storms, rising like a monument to endurance amid the swirling mist. The fog weaves in and out of every nook and cranny, softening the harsh lines and cloaking the ancient structure in a ghostly embrace. The air is heavy with moisture, carrying the sharp, briny tang of ocean spray, mixed with the faint, sweet aroma of salt-tolerant coastal plants that cling stubbornly to the rocky cliffs. Each breath is cool and refreshing, mingled with the subtle scent of damp moss and aged timber from the tower's interior. Outside, the sea crashes endlessly against the jagged rocks below, its thunderous roar softened by the thick fog into a constant, soothing murmur. Imagine the world beyond the tower as a shifting realm of gray, fog-draped cliffs disappearing into a misty abyss, waves breaking silently upon hidden shores, and the sky a seamless expanse of swirling clouds and soft light. Occasionally, the silhouette of a lone seabird emerges from the haze, wings outstretched in a graceful glide before vanishing once more into the gray. Inside, the watchtower breathes with the echoes of those who once kept vigil, footsteps falling lightly on worn stone, voices lowered in quiet conversation. The creak of the spiral staircase as sentinels climbed and descended in tireless duty. The faint glow of lanterns cast dancing shadows, revealing glimpses of weathered maps, faded logbooks, and instruments dulled by salt and time. These relics tell stories of distant storms weathered, ships guided safely through treacherous waters, and the unwavering resolve of those who face the unknown. Picture the watchmen themselves, bundled in thick cloaks, their faces etched with lines carved by cold winds and sleepless nights. Their eyes scan the gray horizon tirelessly, searching for any sign of life or danger amid the endless veil of fog. Despite the isolation, a quiet camaraderie bonds them, a shared purpose that transcends the desolation, a steadfast watch that never falters. As you breathe deeply and let your thoughts settle into the rhythm of the tower and sea, allow the timeless solitude and haunting beauty of the watchtower that faced only fog to enfold you. Let the gentle pulse of the waves and the soft embrace of mist guide you softly into restful sleep, wrapped in the serene stillness of this ancient sentinel. As the night stretches on within the watchtower that faced only fog, the fog thickens further, wrapping the tower in an almost tangible silence. Imagine the dense mist curling around the jagged cliffs like slow-moving waves, swallowing the landscape in soft gray folds that blur the line between sea, sky, and stone. The cold air is heavy with moisture, clinging to your skin and filling your lungs with the briny scent of the ocean, mingled with the faint fragrance of damp moss and seaweed that cling to every crevice. Inside the watchtower, the atmosphere is both intimate and vast, the stone walls echoing faintly with the history of countless nights spent in vigil. The cold floor beneath your feet is worn smooth by the steady tread of watchmen who pace these halls, their footsteps muffled by the thick fog outside. The narrow spiral staircase coils upward like a silent serpent, its iron railing slick with moisture, leading to the top where once sharp eyes searched the endless gray for signs of ships or storms. The lantern's flickering flame casts long, wavering shadows that dance gently on the rough stone, revealing faint carvings and etchings left by those who sought to leave a mark, a message, or simply to pass the time in this lonely outpost. Imagine the sensation of tracing your fingers over these ancient markings, letters worn thin, symbols half lost to time, the silent voices of those long gone reaching out across the years. Outside the windows, the fog shifts and swirls, momentarily parting to reveal glimpses of the wild sea below, its dark waters tossing and churning under a heavy sky. The relentless crash of waves against the cliffs forms a steady, soothing cadence, a reminder of the power and persistence of nature. The sharp cries of seabirds cut through the mist occasionally, their calls echoing like lonely songs across the desolate coast. Imagine the watchmen, wrapped in heavy cloaks, standing at the summit of the tower, their faces pale and resolute as they peer into the impenetrable fog. Their breath forms soft clouds in the chill air as they listen intently for any sign of movement. The creak of a ship's mast, the faint whistle of the wind, the first roll of thunder signaling an approaching storm. Hours stretch on in this timeless vigil, marked only by the ebb and flow of the tide, and the ceaseless murmur of the sea. As you breathe deeply and let your imagination dwell within this solitary sentinel, allow the quiet strength and haunting stillness of the watchtower that faced only fog to soothe your mind and calm your spirit. Let the soft rhythm of the waves and the gentle embrace of the mist guide you gently into peaceful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the timeless mystery and serene solitude of this ancient guardian. As the hours stretch quietly on within the watchtower that faced only fog, the world outside remains a swirling dance of mist and shadow, where time seems suspended in an eternal embrace between sea and sky. Imagine the dense fog curling softly against the ancient stone walls, weaving through cracks and crannies like a living entity, wrapping the tower in a shroud of mystery and silence. The air is cool and heavy with the scent of salt and damp earth, mingling with the faint aroma of seaweed and weathered timber. Inside the tower's narrow chambers, the flickering glow of lanterns casts gentle light that dances across the rough-hewn stone, revealing the texture of centuries-old walls, worn smooth by wind, rain, and countless watchful eyes. The spiral staircase coils upwards in endless loops, its iron banisters slick with moisture and etched with the marks of time and touch. Every creak and whisper of the tower seems amplified in the stillness, a quiet testament to the lives that have passed through. Picture the watchmen, steadfast and silent, their breath forming small clouds in the chilly air as they peer through narrow windows into the impenetrable gray, their eyes strained to pierce the fog, searching for shapes that never quite take form. A distant sail, a shadowy figure, the telltale flash of a beacon. The cold seeps deep into their bones, yet they stand firm, anchored by duty and the knowledge that their vigil keeps the world beyond safe. Beyond the tower, the jagged cliffs rise sharply from the restless sea, their surfaces slick with moisture and shimmering faintly in the pale moonlight. Waves crash endlessly against the rocks below, sending plumes of salty spray upward, which dissolve into the ever-present fog. Hardy grasses and low shrubs cling stubbornly to the rocky soil, bending and bowing with the relentless sea breeze, their leaves rustling softly like whispered secrets. Imagine the solitude of this place, the profound silence punctuated only by the ceaseless song of the ocean and the soft whisper of the mist. The watchtower stands as a lone sentinel in a world lost to fog and shadow, a beacon of steadfastness in the ever-changing sea of gray. As you breathe slowly and let your thoughts drift through this quiet, timeless vigil, allow the haunting beauty and serene stillness of the watchtower that faced only fog to cradle your spirit. Let the steady rhythm of waves and the gentle embrace of mist guide you gently into restful sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of mystery and calm. As the night deepens, the watchtower that faced only fog becomes a sanctuary of quiet endurance, a steadfast guardian standing firm against the ceaseless embrace of mist and sea. Imagine the thick fog swirling relentlessly around the tower's ancient stones, each tendril weaving through weathered cracks and curling around the ironwork like delicate fingers. The air is thick with moisture, heavy and cool, carrying the briny scent of salt and the faint, sweet trace of wild coastal blossoms that cling stubbornly to the rugged cliffs. Inside the watchtower, the dim glow of oil lamps flickers softly, casting warm pools of light that barely penetrate the surrounding shadows. The rough stone walls absorb the light and echo the soft footsteps of those who once paced its narrow halls, their voices long silenced, but their presence still felt in the cool air. Imagine tracing your fingers along the cold, worn banister of the spiral staircase as you ascend slowly, each step resonating softly in the quiet tower. From the summit, through narrow, fogged-over windows, the view is a shifting sea of gray. Waves crash tirelessly against the rocky shores below, sending sprays of salty mist upward, which mingle seamlessly with the enveloping fog. The cliffs stand like ancient sentinels, their surfaces slick with moisture and moss, steadfast despite the constant battering of wind and water. Hardy grasses sway in unison with the breeze, their rustling leaves adding a delicate melody to the otherwise muted landscape. The watchmen, wrapped in heavy cloaks, stand vigilant despite the damp chill that seeps through their clothing. Their eyes strain against the endless fog, searching for any sign of movement, perhaps the faint outline of a distant ship or the sudden flash of a lighthouse beacon. Their breaths form fleeting clouds in the cold air as they endure the relentless monotony, their duty a quiet testament to resilience and hope amid the engulfing gray. Beyond the tower, the night sky peeks occasionally through the fog, revealing glimpses of distant stars twinkling faintly in the vast darkness. The soft calls of seabirds pierce the silence sporadically, their mournful cries echoing over the restless waves. The landscape feels both eternal and fragile, a place where nature's power and beauty exist in delicate, ever-changing balance. As you breathe deeply and let your imagination rest within this solitary sentinel, allow the timeless strength and quiet mystery of the watchtower, that faced-only fog, to envelop your mind and spirit. Let the steady pulse of the ocean and the soft embrace of the mist guide you gently into peaceful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the enduring calm of this ancient guardian. As the night wears on, the watchtower that faced only fog stands as an unwavering sentinel amid the swirling mists, a place where time seems to fold into itself, and the boundary between earth and sky dissolves into a quiet gray expanse. Imagine the thick fog clinging like a living veil to the tower's ancient stones, swirling softly in the gentle night breeze that carries with it the briny scent of the sea and the subtle earthiness of damp moss and weathered rock. Inside the watchtower, the air is cool and heavy with the lingering scent of candle wax and salt spray. The flickering lanterns cast shifting shadows along the rough stone walls, revealing faded carvings and inscriptions left by generations of watchmen, marks of endurance, hope, and quiet vigil. The spiral staircase winds upward endlessly, its iron banisters slick with moisture, guiding the way to the tower's summit, where the eyes of sentinels once scanned the mist for signs of life. Outside, the jagged cliffs rise dramatically from the churning sea, their surfaces glistening with moisture and cloaked in hardy grasses and twisted shrubs that lean into the persistent wind. Waves crash relentlessly against the rocks below, their thunderous roar softened by the fog into a steady, rhythmic lullaby. The distant calls of seabirds echo faintly, their plaintive cries weaving through the mist like ancient songs. Imagine the watchmen who once stood in this lonely post, their breath visible in the cold air as they peered into the endless gray. Hours would pass with only the sound of waves and the whisper of wind to break the silence, their eyes straining for any hint of movement, be it a ship's silhouette, the flash of a beacon, or the first rumble of an approaching storm. The solitude weighed heavily, yet their resolve remained unbroken, anchored by duty and the knowledge that their vigilance was a lifeline. The landscape around the watchtower is a study in contrasts, the fierce, untamed power of the sea meeting the quiet resilience of the rocky cliffs, softened here and there by hardy plants clinging to life in crevices and sheltered nooks. The fog drifts and shifts, momentarily revealing glimpses of this rugged beauty before swallowing it again in a gentle embrace. As you breathe deeply and let your thoughts settle within this misty realm, allow the enduring strength and haunting serenity of the watchtower that faced only fog to cradle your spirit. Let the gentle rhythm of waves and the soft veil of fog guide you slowly into restful, restorative sleep, wrapped in the timeless calm of this steadfast guardian. As the night deepens into its final tranquil hours, the watchtower that faced only fog stands silent and steadfast against the ever-present mist that cloaks the rugged coastline. Imagine the soft glow of the moon filtering through the thick fog, casting a pale, ethereal light that shimmers gently on the ancient stones of the tower. The cold, damp air is filled with the scent of salt and seaweed, mingled with the faint, lingering aroma of damp moss and weathered timber from the tower's interior. Around the tower, jagged cliffs rise sharply from the restless ocean, their surfaces slick with moisture and veined with patches of hardy grasses and lichen. Waves crash ceaselessly against the rocks below, their thunderous roar softened by the enveloping fog into a constant, soothing murmur. The ocean's vastness stretches beyond sight, merging seamlessly with the gray sky in a boundless horizon that seems to hold all the secrets of the world. Inside the watchtower, the flickering light of oil lamps casts gentle shadows that dance across the rough-hewn stone walls, revealing the texture of centuries-old masonry and the faint traces of carvings and inscriptions left by long-forgotten watchmen. The spiral staircase winds upward in a graceful coil, its iron railing cold and smooth beneath careful hands, guiding the way to the summit where vigilant eyes once scanned the misty horizon. Imagine standing at this vantage point, the dense fog swirling endlessly around you, muffling the sounds of the ocean and cloaking the distant world in soft gray silence. The air is cool and still, the only sounds your own breath and the gentle pulse of the waves far below. In this moment of quiet solitude, the watchtower becomes a sanctuary, a place where time slows, and the weight of the world feels both distant and peaceful. The watchmen who once kept vigil here endured the relentless monotony and profound isolation, their presence a silent testament to resilience and duty. Their watch was marked by the ceaseless fog and the endless sea, a vigil not only against physical dangers, but against the encroaching silence and solitude. Yet within this isolation lies a strange beauty, a quiet strength that whispers through the mist, echoing across the ages. As you breathe slowly and let your mind rest within this timeless sentinel, allow the gentle embrace of the watchtower that faced only fog to soothe your thoughts and calm your spirit. Let the steady rhythm of the ocean and the soft veil of mist guide you gently into deep, restorative sleep, wrapped in the serene stillness of this ancient guardian. Thank you so much for joining me on this quiet journey tonight. I hope these gentle stories have helped soothe your mind and carry you peacefully into restful sleep. When you awaken, may your day be filled with happiness, joy, and focused calm. Take care, and I look forward to sharing another tranquil tale with you soon. Good night and sweet dreams.